Haha, we're on time.
We did it. We're not
Welcome.
late.
Welcome to the last show of 2025.
R.I.P.
Yeah, it's been the first year of the American Century of Humiliation.
I don't know about all that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe not the first year, but
it's been a big one. I'll say that.
if the last couple years were Nanking, this is the Blitzkrieg. I'll put it
Like
that way.
it's all just a setup for something else. It's all negative. We hate it all, and trying to put it into words just makes us sad.
Yeah. Now, all right, let's place our bets, everybody. Does Trump die in the 36 or so hours left of 2025?
Absolutely not.
I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's impossible either. It is never
Well,
impossible at any given moment.
I unfortunately think we're gonna end up with one of those situations where he just gets out of office. He doesn't have much to do anymore, and he just kind of quietly goes in Florida.
That's what I thought was going to happen for the longest time, but over the last year or so, he looks so fucking sick all the time.
Yeah, but he's powered by Diet Pepsi. He can't be stopped.
The Diet Coke, all right? He does not degrade himself with Diet Pepsi.
Is is there a difference?
To him, there is.
It's just poison.
Yeah, no, it's sugar water. It's
Not even
fucking
the sugar because
diabetes
it's diet,
water.
so it's aspartame water.
Yeah, it's diabetes water.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna.
don't know. I think at any given moment, it's never impossible that he suddenly keels over. I mean, remember that week that we all thought he was dead?
It's like not impossible, but I just wouldn't put the bets on it.
I don't know, man. He's starting to fucking get the bruising on his left hand now, too.
Yeah. That's just because he has to jack it a bit more now.
I don't think he even can. Like, I'm sure that his dick was one of the last things to go, but I don't think it works anymore.
There are more drugs on this planet than I think we have access to.
Then again, did you see his fucking weird Santa Claus thing he was doing?
What did he do now? Oh gosh, golly.
Or not really Santa Claus, but like you know how the president always does that thing where he does the phone calls from kids on Christmas Eve.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a thing the president always does for some reason.
Doesn't really
and so,
wait, hold on. So is he gonna talk to Santa? Is that the bit?
No, I said Santa because I was thinking because he kept asking like, "What do you hope Santa brings you?" Like, Santa's not really involved. It's just a Christmas thing. But he, for the record, everybody, I forgot tonight was a show night, and I took an edible, and it's fucking hitting me. So bear with me.
Jesus, yeah.
Anyway, Trump was taking the phone calls from the kid, and he's like, "No, so beautiful. Like you sound like you're gorgeous." It was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Hot take. President shouldn't do shit for Christmas. It's Christmas.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that they have like the president take phone calls from children, but you know what? Fuck it.
I mean, is it a fuck it? Because like, I don't know. I'm just saying I gotta constantly hear about some Jewish conspiracy, but I don't see no like Rosh Hashanah calls.
It's kind of actually these days you'll see those more often. Maybe
from
not
the president.
Not phone calls, but like the president always does a little Rosh Hashanah like event, like or at least he does like a speaking event where he talks about it.
So you're telling me there's a Kwanzaa speech as well?
There might be.
No, it's silly. This is silly. Wait, no.
We actually, let me find out. Now I'm curious because I swear to God, I have a memory of Obama doing one of those.
Well, okay, that is such a. You know that's not fair, and I shouldn't have to even say that out loud.
Hang
well,
on.
You know, the one
I just want to find out now.
Did actually do a Kwanzaa thing. Oh wow.
Hang on. Do you have a source for this AI overview?
What's the AI telling you now?
Here. So it looks like it has links. So according to this, every president since Bill Clinton has offered official White House recognition of Kwanzaa, typically through a presidential statement or message.
I don't know if a pre-recorded video / recognition equates to actively participating in a holiday tradition every year.
True, but way fewer people celebrate Kwanzaa than do Christmas. So
I
don't know.
This is silly. You know this is silly.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird for the president to do holiday stuff, but then it's also like, yeah,
but American holiday stuff. We have different classifications of holidays for a reason, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Just kind of seems to avoid that point.
I don't know. I think part of it is that in order to not feel like we have a fucking king or a dictator, we need to see the president be silly occasionally.
Yeah, so like get an anger translator.
Oh yeah, they did do that one time.
Play a goddamn saxophone on like Hall. Read books to children and then mess up words on purpose so people think you're silly while you're actually organizing a giant war. I don't know. Like, there's great examples of them being silly that don't involve holidays whatsoever.
Hang on, I lost you for.
Oh.
Yeah. We lost it, but it's coming back. Just give it a sec.
Oh,
there we go.
Am I back?
Yes.
Cool. So, where'd you lose me?
I heard most of what you said about how like you can do silly presidential shit without the holidays.
Yeah, just I don't exactly see the necessity.
Apparently, neither does Melania, because there was that leaked thing from last time he was president where she's like saying, "Who gives a fuck about Christmas?"
Because, like, yeah. I love when the foreigner has the realistic American.
Yeah, I don't even. What was the fucking? Hang on.
This is great.
Christmas.
Sometimes oil springs from the driest of sources.
Okay, I'm just going to use People Magazine as a source because I don't feel like finding a better one, but I know this is real, so.
If you're subscribed, unless they're not one of those.
I don't appear to be. Hang on, where the fuck is the actual quote? Where's the fucking quote?
Who cares?
Here we go. Finally found it.
Nice.
I'm working my ass off on the Christmas stuff that, who gives a fuck about the Christmas stuff and decorations? But I need to do it, right?
Man, I don't know, dude. You gotta go and, like, recreate a bunch of Yule traditions while saying you're not recreating Yule traditions, and then, like, do it, like, 20 times in a bunch of public squares and light it up and have everyone cheer for you in a giant crowd, and then be like, yeah, no, I'm just doing this for normal political reasons, I guess.
I will say I do love that Melania no longer pretends to even remotely give a fuck and is just, like, not there half the time.
She's taking this the best way that she could.
Yeah, living on the other side of the U.S. from him.
Well, okay. I think I'll say the quiet part out loud for everyone. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave at this point. I'm waiting out, dude. I invested. My dividends are so close. So close.
I remember on his first inauguration day, which was Jesus fucking Christ, almost 9 years ago. There was the photo of him, taking the oath, and she's standing there holding the Bible, and they just put a thought bubble. Man, I really thought he'd be dead by now.
Listen, when she made the investment, it wasn't necessarily a great understanding of how long it was going to take, but she's here now.
Weird enough, this is his longest fucking relationship.
I mean, yeah, because what motivation is there to leave?
Well, I don't mean her motivation. I just mean that he hasn't like dumped her for a younger model. Like, damn, maybe he actually fucking loves her deep down.
I think he does not like. He barely knows who he is, let alone who she is. What do you mean? Like, so someone check his nib score. This is outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, there was literally that time where he like, who was it in the deposition that he mistook for his ex-wife, or he like didn't remember what his ex-wife looked like or something?
Couldn't tell you offhand, but yeah. I mean, no, like he does not have the cognitive ability to do what you're saying. Hell, if he tried, she'd probably be funny and be like, "You're legally incompetent now, buddy, and you can't do that."
Yeah, she'd fucking like. I'm sure she's got a lawyer retained for just such an occasion.
Yeah, so like I don't really know the play that like could be done out here. If he brings in legal proceedings, there's such a fun invitation. Why is he gonna open a legal proceeding? Are you serious?
Just once, I want to see the fucking president get divorced while in office. I just want to see it happen once before I die.
But Jesus don't like that.
There's a distinct actually, no, hang on. There's a distinct possibility it happens with Vance.
Don't you say that. Don't you put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby.
Huh?
No.
No, I think it can happen. Because here's the thing.
No, so if Vance gets in, I'm actually terrified of my life. Like, yep. Your internet connection, or is it mine? I mean, we just end up stopping and stuttering. Are you gonna come back this time?
Emily?
Slowly, but surely.
Hang on, fuck me. Okay, seems to be working for the moment. So why do you say that that's not a thing with Vance?
Oh no, I just if Vance gets into office, I'm a cry tears. I mean, as far as like a VP doing that, sure, maybe.
Oh no, well he's gonna be the next president because there's no fucking way in hell Trump lives through this term.
This is one of those times you just gotta believe. You gotta believe.
And Vance also, he wants to be fucking president. He wants to be president more than he wants anything else.
Yeah.
And he knows with his fucking base, he's not making it there with an Indian wife. So he's dumping Usha's ass at some point.
It's the greatest example of the dude who wants it most should not get it.
Yeah, he'll probably marry Erica fucking Kirk. Anyway, imagine that like Trump dies, say, in like 2 months, and he takes office too soon, and he has to get divorced while he's in office.
So you think if Vance gets into office, he's gonna swear an oath on some Nordic runes?
No, of course not. He'll swear it on the Bible because he pretends to be Catholic.
But how's he gonna see him in Valhalla then?
Oh, well, yeah, of course. None of these people actually believe in God, so it doesn't matter if it's inconsistent.
I just mean from the performative aspect, not the literal one. I mean,
also, to be fair, that was Kash Patel who said that, so.
Well, yeah, but, like, people are kind of silly because Charlie Kirk wasn't holding a weapon, so, like, I don't even know what books you read, but we're not really...
His microphone was his weapon. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to fucking say, I'm calling it.
Oh, my God, oh God, these really whack interpretations of Odin are really getting out of hand.
I know that at least once on Twitter that it has been said. I know that at least fucking once someone has said it.
What? So like if his microphone's his weapon, then Kanye West is a warrior? Like what do you say?
Someone fucking believes that. One of the diehards believes that. Diehard Trump fans, not like Die Hard the movie. Those movies are way too
past Christmas. We're done with it. Jesus Christ.
You know, by the way, what I'm saying about the Vance thing, it's not entirely conspiratorial because they're soft launching it already. They had that fucking moment with Erica Vance.
You're already just soft launching the marriage, I guess.
But also, like, to be fair, I don't know that this one's true, but there were like fairly credible evidence for it. Supposedly, he and Usha were like overheard fucking arguing at some DC restaurant the other day,
Oh,
like a
what?
week or
That's
two
how he's
ago.
with his wife. I've never fucking expected that. Wow.
Yeah, I
Never
know.
mind.
But like, oh my god, it's gonna be so fucking funny when it happens.
Yeah, I don't even know if funny is the word, man. I'm scared of him. He's gonna like remove the age of consent. Like he's
I
gonna
would be scared of him if he didn't have fucking 1 HP. Like, he is a charisma black hole. Everyone, even on his own fucking team, hates him. He's not getting shit done, dude.
dog.
He doesn't have the personality cult strength required to swing his dick around. He can't.
It's
Fucking...
not even that deep. He literally, if he slides in even for a day, that's football privileges. That's like stupid shit. And like you're right, he can't get much done. He's forced to find other ways to swing his dick. Oh yeah, no, this is a great recipe. I'm totally sure he's not going to use the few executive powers at his disposal to exactly cause the problem that we're trying to avoid in hopes of impressing the folks around him that he can in fact get the autocracy under his control.
Well,
That's
of course,
totally not going to happen.
yeah, of course, he's a demon from hell, but we have to remember he's also very stupid, and we have to hope, because our best fucking option at this point is hope that he doesn't fuck things up too severely.
He's stupid, but not stupid enough. This isn't like a toddler with a machine gun. This is a 12-year-old with a machete, but that 12-year-old killed squirrels in the forest.
That is fair. And JD Vance probably did kill squirrels in the forest.
And I'm like, I don't know how much you can get done before something happens, sure. But like that 12-year-old with a machete is enough to make the impact that he wants to.
I gotta say, it's so fucking funny to me that, like, the Trump personality cult does not extend to JD Vance at all.
I don't think personality cults usually do. It would kind of break down how a savior can do something and how special he is. Because if there's multiple people who can do it in the organization, it more leads to the idea that there's a trait that lets them do it, which means you could have it, I could have it, and anyone could have it.
That is true. But if the personality cult is going to extend to anyone, it's like the son of the leader. And that certainly hasn't fucking happened with most of the Trump fans. It has to some extent with Barron, purely because he's got that fucking Roman-shaped Caesarean nose.
I find that dude was spending so long battling other spheres of influence. Like he's worried about Elon trying to make his own little thing. He's worried about fucking like so many other little competitors. He hasn't really worked on the cult of personality much since like campaigning. And like, yeah, you can just maintain, but no, there isn't any way to grow it in the way that you're saying.
That is true.
Like, okay, just to be silly but honest, Elon's dragging his kid around to every meeting just so like he's like, Simba, look at him.
Human shield.
Well, it's not even human shield as much as stare at his face. Look at him. He's forcing you to deal with it. And soon you'll just kind of accept it because, like, if you look at history, this is on some Kaiser Wilhelm style nonsense.
Yeah, it really. Oh my god, you're fucking right.
Yeah, it does work. Know why, you just shove the kid.
You don't see that kid anymore?
Why?
Because Grimes sued for fucking custody. Actually, not so much custody, but more like sued for legal prevention of him taking their son out in public or some shit. I don't know, but she won.
Work on one of his other spawn from his 20 other baby mamas. Nick Cannon would cry.
Yeah, he really does. Like with Nick Cannon, it just comes across like he hates condoms and has the money to not worry about that.
Nick Cannon is great because he's just like, no. I'm just going to live my life the way I want to. But I know the appropriate responsibilities that I need to do and be fully honest with all these people. And every woman who's involved is like, yeah, fair deal. I'll take this. And so they both walk away kind of and like, no one's worse for wear. Elon.
Yeah, he's doing it for like fetish reasons.
No, he's doing it for colonialism reasons.
That too.
Bro.
It's
he's
probably
really imitating the role model of his father and the role set by apartheid men. He's making an estate, my guy.
And like his father, he's almost certainly a child molester as well.
I mean, shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's done a bunch of sex crimes. Can't we just focus on the obvious, like, slavery shit?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that too. He literally got his money from his dad's fucking slave mine.
I love when I get into conversations with people with this. No, like, his dad didn't own an emerald mine. I'm like, all right.
No, he literally does.
Really, the technicality.
The thing is right here.
No, it's like he owned shares in an emerald mine.
That's the same fucking thing, guys. Come on.
Well. So you're saying that because of that, he's responsible for the business practices? Yeah, yes. He owned a majority share. He was able to control the operations in the mine. Yes.
Yeah, and even if he didn't, like, even if his role didn't allow that, he could just divest himself and not be party to it anymore. But he is. So he is ultimately responsible. The buck stops with you, motherfucker.
Putting a middleman of bureaucracy just because you're not actually hitting the whip does not change the fact that you own the plantation, my boy. Like,
yeah. In fact, usually the guy swinging the fucking whip didn't own the plantation.
That's normally just how this runs. It's kind of silly to think otherwise. It's almost like people want a grandstand on saying if I was there in slavery times, I'd stop it. But I can give you 3 fucking modern examples, and you're going to find your way to bullshit me and just talk me out of it because, oh, no, it's different technically because of it. No.
Yeah, unless you're John Brown, really, like, what you can say there is I would have refused to participate. And it's like, all right, yeah, you can do that.
I'll also give it to what's his fucking face, the only good founding father.
Ben Franklin?
No, the guy who wrote the stuff. Paine.
Oh, yeah, because Ben Franklin I would also qualify as good because he was an abolitionist.
Ben Franklin is good comparatively.
Yeah, exactly.
Thomas Paine is good, like, just like from even today's standards. It's very realistically good.
Yeah, like, these are historical figures. They're not our friends. So,
well, Thomas Paine could be your friend. I'm saying he's objectively cool. He's the only one.
Yeah, I do like Ben Franklin for the abolitionism, though. Like, I respect the hell out of that. By some accounts, as early as 1750, by the way.
It's one of those. Ben Franklin definitely had a great abolition views, but can I also point out a lot of those views are written while he fucks off to France and just kind of enjoys a different civilization.
That is true.
And then, so like, oh yeah, I'm really glad that you're privileged enough that you can leave the hellscape to describe the hellscape, but then not fix the hellscape.
Yeah, again, he's not my fucking friend. He's just a historical figure I find semi-fascinating.
Oh, dude, he's hilarious. Like, I like the fact he got chased out of France for that reason.
Yeah, and swimming naked in the fucking Potomac and
like, absolute baller. Cool dude. But like, just because he's a cool dude doesn't mean he's a good dude.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen looked pretty fucking cool if you were into hookers and blow.
Man, I objectively think Charlie Sheen looks cool, and I'm not into hookers nor blow. But I think that actively, 1, being the highest paid TV actor, 2, running around and just swinging your dick as obsessively as he did, and 3, after leaving your show, going on a tour to just tell your old boss to fuck off, getting high as shit on stage and getting sold out arenas.
Epic and then he came back to the show for the finale too.
Epic winning. Like, I obviously, like, hope the guy got complete help. I love the documentary about him. I think he was really honest. I think he's a very complicated man, but like, cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Yes.
While we wait, chat, we do the evil things. We break the rules and we spam fucking bad guy shit. I don't know. I don't actually have a game plan for what to do. I'm just gonna sit here. I have a thing in the back of my tooth that fucking hurts. It's driving me crazy. One of these days I need to get my wisdom teeth out.
But then you won't have any wisdom.
Yeah, well, I already don't, so.
Confucius say, man who go to bed with itchy bum, wake up with smelly finger.
I was about to bring that one up. Anyway, the world's ending.
It's like the blind man said as he pissed into the wind.
And it all came back to him.
It's all coming back to me now. That's correct.
The part you forgot is that he said, "I see," to the deaf man.
See, I feel like that edition is literally, I was just reading that fucking old contradiction poem like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Where it's like, one fine day in the middle of the night, two dead boys get up to fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, I think someone just took a line out of that trying to make the joke theirs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just went with the version my mom always said.
Fair. It's, who knows?
Anyway, you want to bitch about fucking Star Trek?
Don't bitch about Star Trek.
Actually, not even bitch about it at all. I'm actually doing the opposite.
Have you seen Two Dicks yet?
No, I have not, but
That's
I have. So I've been watching Star Trek the Animated Series here, which, as you can see, ran for 2 seasons in the early to mid 70s.
Otherwise known as Extra Star Trek without an FX budget.
No, it's actually the opposite. It's season 4 of Star Trek without the limitations of an FX budget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Same thing.
Yeah, so like they first, so it's made by Filmation, and the animation is not great. It's very simple animation, like most cartoons from this era had.
Very Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Super Friends. Like, I think that was also Filmation. Yeah, that was Filmation as well. So it's very simplified movements and everything, but the advantage of the animation is that now you can depict all kinds of insane shit you couldn't do in live action.
Still no dolphins.
Not yet, no. But here, what's this character? So, like, it has, other than Chekhov, it has all the characters from the live action series. But then sometimes, Uhura is unavailable or is doing something else. So then we meet this character, Imrez, who is a fucking cat bitch.
Okay, I'm going to take a wild guess here, but I'm going to phrase this in the form of a question. How does she talk?
Normal with occasional purrs. They only had the budget for like 6 regular voice actors, so she's just one of many female characters voiced by Majel Barrett.
I'm surprised they didn't go the full like Russian with the cat accent route.
There's also this character. I don't know why this is from the Transformers wiki of all places, this image, but this character, Erix, who is the replacement for Chekhov in this show. He apparently canonically was Chekhov's instructor at the academy.
Huh.
Yeah, so what happened was, as you can see here, he's got like 6 limbs.
What species is this guy?
Let me find out. I forget.
Yeah, where is he from?
Eudosian. He is a male Eudosian Starfleet officer who lived during the mid-23rd century. Yes, I'm trying not to read spoilers there. So what happened with this was that they initially planned to only bring back Shatner, DeForest Kelley, Nimoy, and I guess Majel Barrett. Or no, James Doohan as well. Those 5. So Nimoy showed up to do the first recording session, and they did it like radio play. The first recording session was done radio play style with all the actors together, which was really fun for them because they're like, oh shit, we haven't seen each other in a couple of years.
But then Leonard Nimoy said, where are my homies at?
Yeah, Nimoy said, where the hell are George Takei and Nichelle Nichols? And they said, oh, we're not going to get them back. They're too expensive. And he said...
Brown people be too expensive, huh? I get you.
Well, so he said, first of all, fuck you. They're my friends. And they could probably use money. And second, they're also the only 2 minority cast members, which means that you're getting rid of the visible signs of a brighter future. Now, granted, they were still going to have the characters. They were just going to have them voiced by Majel Barrett and James Doohan.
Yeah.
So this guy, Erix, was voiced by James Doohan.
To be clear, can we get a picture of Majel Barrett and
yes.
just for context of how starkly we'd be doing some things here.
Yeah, well, James Doohan played Scotty, so you know what he looks like. And this is Majel Barrett, whose name I hope I'm fucking pronouncing right. I never know for sure.
So I just want you to imagine, like, just look at this woman and imagine her speaking goddamn Swahili. Just play it for you.
Well, that, among other reasons, and also loyalty, is why Nimoy walked the fuck out of the first recording session and said, I'm not coming back till you rehire them. So they did. And he came back, and they rescheduled it, and everything was fine.
Because Leonard Nimoy is that dude.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy did a lot of that shit throughout Star Trek. Like,
He was
if
valid.
somebody else wasn't being listened to, he was going to fucking help.
Guy did not fuck around. Except when he fucked around.
That is true.
He did occasionally.
Yeah, so it's... I don't know. The fact that they have wacky alien characters is cool. They couldn't get Walter Koenig just because they had to draw the fucking line somewhere. But what they did do was that they bought an episode from him. So one of the episodes of the show was actually written by him.
I just wish the characters weren't... Okay, because it feels like we just got zany, random alien characters. And not like, dude, you've made a fucking bunch of actual cultures. Why not just take one? Are you silly?
Well, to be fair, the only one of the bridge, the regular bridge crew who's an alien is Eric's. And then Emrys is just like an occasion. She's literally like the deputy comms officer, so she takes over when Uhura's not available.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. I think they were like, oh shit, animation. We can have wacky aliens, whereas we can also do racial diversity in live action. I don't know, man. It was 1973. What do you want from me? You got a
Better
fucking
lore.
wacky six-limbed alien.
I want better lore. So in other words, I want Deep Space Nine.
Yes,
Or-
and I will get to Deep Space Nine.
Eventually.
Probably not too long.
It's going to be... You need alien diversity where it counts. And then, at that moment, Leonardo DiCaprio with a glass in his hand.
Are you? Oh, you're doing fucking Darmok and Jalad. Okay. Okay, that took me. I was like, wait a second. Okay. Okay, I remember Darmok and Jalad. That's a great episode. For those of you who may not know, that's an episode where Picard is marooned on a planet with an alien whose people speak in metaphor.
Which can best be described in modern memes.
Yeah, no, literally, yes. Like
Philip J. Fry with his cash extended.
yeah, exactly. Like the reason I called it Darmok and Jalad is because he keeps trying to get across the meaning of Darmok and Jalada Tanagra, and he's referring to like a historical event of two people meeting at Tanagra.
And also what it means about the teamwork and what we got to do to get it done. Because
Exactly.
They speak in, honestly, if you want to think about it, think about how the poetry of an Eastern language works when you're translating it to English, get a little hyperbolic with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then describe it in common because we have translators.
Yeah, because the comm badges serve as universal translators, right?
That's TNG?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I've watched so much The Orville that sometimes I forget which fucking Star Trek show had which technology.
Yeah, it's easy to remember because a horror is so awesome because they didn't have it. And then after, everyone just kind of throws their job, pretty much. It's like, okay.
There was one episode of TOS where they were required to have a universal translator, but it was a actual like physical device that big that they had to get out of the shuttle pod. It wasn't just attached to their communicators.
Wasn't part of that story how Uhura is better than that? And she like, who's the dude who beat the mining thing?
John Henry?
No, John Henry did the lumberjack.
No, John Henry's the steel driving man.
Oh, John Henry's the steel driving man. Blue and yeah, okay.
Yeah, anyway, no, Uhura actually, I mean, she was probably in that episode, but no, that was one of the marooned on the planet with only 4 people type episodes.
Okay.
But I feel like I remember something about Uhura doing that. So maybe that was a scene in one of the movies, or
Yeah, I just know that she's dope and she beat your translators and
so that's one thing you get to see in this cartoon that they were never able to do in TOS was Uhura commands the Enterprise a couple times.
nice.
Because there's an episode that's like basically like a space version of Sirens, like calling the ships to the shore type of thing.
Hmm.
And they've got this like pheromonal fucking brainwashing thing that only works on the men. So Uhura is therefore left ranking officer on the Enterprise.
And then Kirk's like, sexy women.
No, it actually wasn't a sex thing. It was a stay on our planet and we like suck out your life force to keep ourselves alive type of thing.
Was there any subtext?
Well, I mean, there was the "ooh, come see us, beautiful women" thing, but then once they're on the planet, it becomes entirely medical.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, the episode basically just serves, in addition to like being a normal episode, as being a showcase of how Uhura and Nurse Chapel can actually like handle themselves really well.
Granted, I'm just gonna go back to the classic. Kirk, stay the fuck on the ship. Jesus Christ, guy.
Yeah, well, that's why Riker exists in Next Gen.
That's why Riker. Well, no. Riker exists to fuck.
Well, yeah, true. Exactly. Why do you think he's leaving the ship? But no, in all seriousness, that was a thing. Was that people always joked about how come the captain is going on the away missions?
Oh yeah, no. Again, that's why like it's great when you see Riker in the first episode. He's like, "All right, so you're probably gonna hate me, because I'm here to just do my job. My job is keep you on this ship, buddy. I'm gonna go do stuff. You tell me to do stuff, but you
because like Spock is the first officer on the Enterprise, but that's a secondary job of his. His main job is chief science officer, whereas Riker's sole job is being first officer.
Plus, there's the obvious great addition where like we can't claim no cultural differences here. We're both humans. You stay on the ship.
Not only that, we're both white. That probably helped subtextually.
I mean, Riker's white, but he fucks so much, he's just rainbow.
True. Similarly, this is just kind of a fun fact. Did you know that Smithers was originally black in The Simpsons in like the really, really early episodes?
That's so surprising. Not really. I actually think that's a little more honest.
Well, the reason why they changed it, like when they decided to make him more than like a bit character with one line, they changed it because they were like, Smithers is going to get really treated like shit by Mr. Burns. And if he's black, that has subtext to it we're not trying to go into.
Well, okay. I mean, this kind of feels like
by the way, that's also the reason that they made Baxter Stockman white in the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon. That's also the reason they did that.
This is one of those times we just got to look at something and say, okay, so you're saying that if he's black, that it's a problem with how we treat him. All right, maybe the problem is just how we treat him. And you're going for an appearance issue because, okay, I get it. He's your servant. He does everything you want. He's in love with you. Oh, he's black. Wow, so terrible. Like, I don't get it, man.
Smithers.
Release
the hounds.
To be fair, he didn't release the hounds on Smithers.
Yeah, that is true. Mr. Burns does not appear to be racist. Well, okay, he probably is, but he's probably racist against ethnicities that don't exist anymore because of how old he is.
You've seen Community, right?
Bits and pieces here and there. I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at X.
You can excuse racism?
Yeah.
But no, Chevy Chase, I forget his character.
I don't remember either, but I remember
Chase's dad. His very old, very rich, super white dad comes out.
Oh, is this the thing where he has to be reminded which races he hates?
No, this is where he's like, then. You look to have Laplander blood in you. Your people contaminated the Finns. And it was like such a very specific level of racism that I was like, wow, he's committed.
Well, The Simpsons often does the like Mr. Burns is literally an ancient eldritch god type of shit.
He's rich. He might as well be.
Well, like there's one episode where he has to get through like the password, like forgot your password thing, and it says enter place of birth, and he enters Pangea.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, which ha ha ha, whatever. But it's like, yeah, so if Mr. Burns has racist beliefs, he probably has racist beliefs about like ethnicities that literally don't exist anymore because they bred together with another.
Mr. Burns is really tired of all of you Anglo-Saxons. Like he has very specific types of racism.
Actually,
or just Anglos and Saxons, not even Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's been a lot of debate, and by debate I mean whiny piss babies on the internet, which will lead us to a broader topic.
Oh, we love whiny piss babies on the internet.
About Ra's al Ghul from Batman.
Okay, this is actually a fun conversation. So, like, where's he from?
So that's the thing. Well, I mean, Ra's al Ghul is an inherited title, so he can be from literally anywhere.
Doesn't he have a name?
Well, so that's the thing. That's why because Ra's al Ghul is a title, he uses it as his name as well, simply because he is so old he no longer remembers his name.
So that's why his daughter uses it also.
Yeah, like he just makes it his legal name for whatever purposes are required.
Oh, he's the old king. Starts with an M.
Yeah, exactly. But so
Mephistopheles? No.
Methuselah. Yeah, Methuselah. Okay. So anyway, there's always debate what ethnicity should Ra's al Ghul be, and different versions of Batman have Nanda Parbat located at different places.
Fuck? What the fuck? That's a silly ass question. Those groups don't exist anymore.
Well, yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like the 90s animated series version drew him with this kind of ambiguously brown skin tone.
I mean, I'd kind of make him look like Hannibal if I was going to throw a stone at it.
Yeah, I like when they make his ethnicity ambiguous, because I like to think that because he's literally like 1,000 years old, his particular ethnicity might just not exist anymore.
Or hot take, he could just be Chinese. Because like
that too.
Because I mean, no, like they do got they got long numbers.
So modern versions, like more modern versions, tend to go with more of like an Arab world influence for the Ra's al Ghul stuff.
Then it's pseudo-religious and gets weird.
Well, kind of, but not really. Again, like Arabs from so fucking long ago that Islam as we know it didn't exist yet type of shit. But like I'm thinking of like I hate the fucking Gotham TV show, but the Gotham show cast like a
Indus Valley civilization type shit.
Yeah, I don't remember the ethnicity of the guy who played him on Gotham. Let me find out. Gotham, Ra's al Ghul actor. Oh, it was Alex. Oh, that's why I recognized him. It was Alexander Siddig.
I don't know who that is.
Fucking what's his name? Julian Bashir from Deep Space Nine.
Oh. Nice.
Anyway, because when they had him as Ra's al Ghul, they like maybe it was just lighting helping it or whatever, but like they went with a brown, like a dark-skinned actor for Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Just make him from like ancient Pakistan or something. I don't know.
In contrast, Arrow had a white British guy as Ra's al Ghul.
Well, I mean, does he have a fun like vampire accent?
Nah, not really. He kind of just has like an accent.
Like, I'm not against the white Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, again, it's an inherited title. He can be from anywhere. All right, fine, whatever.
But like, make him exotic. You know what to do.
Like, yeah, like I said with Gotham, casting Alexander Siddig as Ra's al Ghul. Like, all right, cool, an actual fucking brown guy as Ra's al Ghul.
But the whiny piss babies didn't like this. I'm guessing.
It's not so much. Well, with that particular one, it happened long enough ago that it was before all the like psychotic anti-woke shit.
No culture war.
Well, culture war was there, but it was just in its infancy. It's not so much about that. It's more about there's debate about whether or not he should be white. Frankly, there's what you hear more often is saying he shouldn't be white, which, fair enough. I at least respect that. But then there's people who get mad at that. And it's just kind of a big bunch of bullshit. It's fucking, I don't know, man. Like here's a comparison. Hang on, I'll wait till Nick's back. Oh yeah, you guys hear Isaiah Whitlock Jr. died? That's sad. Oh, speaking of Chevy Chase, Jesus, fucking Google is listening to me. Oh, so I guess. Hang on, I'm just reading some shit. Wait, what? Fuck you mean recast Danny? Oh, Manny, rather. Wait, seriously? I hope that's not true, man. That's stupid. Oh, Richard Smallwood. That's sad. Who is this guy again? Oh yeah, this guy. I know Smallwood. Oh god, can you imagine growing up with that as your fucking last name, dude?
Sorry about that. Just got a text from Jared from Subway.
That's fine, dude. Imagine growing up with the name Richard Smallwood.
I mean, you just got to be a comedian, right?
Yeah, basically. Anyway, this is what fucking Ra's al Ghul is often drawn looking like.
Yeah, that's fine. Like,
yeah, I like him to be a little more dark skinned than that, but whatever.
Like, I don't. Well, let me put it this way. He's not purporting to be anything, so like, who cares? He can just be a question. Who cares? Like, it's like the race of him doesn't matter. The race of Mary Jane doesn't matter. The race of Miles Morales matters. Like there's just fucking easy things that matter and don't.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the fucking the Ancient One from the Doctor Strange movie. Do you remember that whole thing?
She's just a bald Chinese lady.
Well, so in the comic, it's a man, and like frankly, is kind of a Asian stereotype. So, in an effort to correct from that, they kind of overcorrected and cast a white woman as the Ancient One.
Question: is it a racial stereotype or is it an archetype established by a bunch of fables and shit?
Well, the character himself was depicted as somewhat of a stereotype.
Oh, yeah, because he's like silly?
Not silly, more just like he was just the Asian guy from every fucking kung fu movie you've ever seen.
I mean, maybe blame the kung fu movies. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Plus, Kill Bill slaps, so.
Oh, true, yeah. Similarly with Wong in the comics, Wong used to be a lot more like servile and more of a manservant. So then when the movie came along, they were like, let's reinvent him into a mentor.
Wasn't Wong like Green Hornets guy?
No, that was Kato.
Yeah, no, but kind of like him, just like
his role in the story was similar, but he was a lot more like obsequious.
And no Bruce Lee, so.
True. Like he called him master and shit.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate, Strange does call Ancient One master, right?
Well, yeah, true. It's not that it was unjustified by. It's not that it couldn't work logically in the story. It was just like in hindsight. Oh, and a lot of he was drawn very iffy looking at times too.
I'm just saying that the moment he says massa, I'm gonna have a bit of a problem.
It was a little bit like that. It wasn't that quite at that level, but it was getting there. But the with the Ancient One in particular, I think even Kevin Feige himself has since admitted, like, yeah, in hindsight, it was probably a mistake to correct for it in the way we did.
Yeah, that overcorrection seems to happen a lot, but sometimes it works well for people. Like, I'd argue Moana itself is an overcorrection, but
Yeah, plus with the Ancient One, they did make specific reference to her Celtic ancestry at least once, so you could, like, all right, well, at least they're representing a culture. Like, you could kind of do a little bit of that. I don't know.
that's not really how representing works. That's just name dropping.
Well, true, but I don't know. It's Tilda Swinton. Like, she's so good in that role. Like, she's just one of those actors who can only ever be good. So even in a role that doesn't challenge her at all, she's gonna be really good in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing with Marvel movies. The overall painting it or portrait it paints can be uninspired a lot of the time, but any individual installment is probably fine.
That feels like a low bar.
It is, but I don't know, man. I remember what fucking superhero movies used to look like.
Nah, okay. Hot take. I miss what they used to be because it was always just this wild card throw. Like, we didn't know, man. Sometimes it was like a great X-Men movie. Sometimes it was hot garbage. Sometimes it's someone trying to take a new take. Sometimes you're like, who gave you the money for this? Sometimes it's fucking Watchmen. Like, it was a different time and it was awesome.
Yeah, they one of my friends coined the term "they don't suck like they used to," and
They don't swing at the plate like they used to. They're taking every Marvel movie's a soft bunt. And I'll be clear, it does technically hit the fucking ball, but like, no, this is not how you play the game.
yeah, exactly. You're right. It's not how you play the game, but you are, by virtue of playing it this way, having a higher success ratio than actually swinging.
And then we're using that high success ratio to justify why the game is fine being played like this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm glad that fucking James Gunn is in control of DC and is now making Superman movies that don't suck shit.
Don't miss. That's all we need.
Literally, even the movies that were made before he took over but have since been kind of retroactively dragged into the new DC universe are also better than most of the old ones.
It's great because he looked through it. He's like, I can work with this. I like this. No. Didn't plan on you, but okay, buddy. I'll take you.
Like, even the Blue Beetle movie, which he had absolutely nothing to do with, is like ostensibly canon because they're working on more Blue Beetle stuff with the same actor.
Isn't that the fucking Cobra Kai kid?
Yeah, and he was good in that role.
I just can't take him seriously because he's the Cobra Kai kid. I don't know. That's a me problem.
But yeah, the Blue Beetle movie was, I mean, it wasn't anywhere near as good as like Superman or the Suicide Squad, but it was like a solid movie.
Did you watch Cobra Kai?
No, I've been meaning to.
It's okay. I swear, if you don't put it behind a bunch of the other things you got to watch, but like it's a great example of like, it's first it starts out and you're like, I'm very happy to be here because I'm seeing my old friends again.
Yeah.
And then like we're like learning more and getting some behind the scenes. I get Johnny Lawrence and I enjoy that. And then you get to the end and you're like, all right, this was really nice. And then they're like season 2 and you're like, where could they go from here? And they're like, well, we're gonna raise the stakes. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, they did like 6 seasons, didn't they?
This is where it gets really funny. Because the stakes keep getting raised and they're like, we got more actors who are interested because we're making money. And so the kids fight some more, and then some of the old actors fight. And then we get to the end of the season. You're like, all right, this was nice. Next season comes out. Now, I want you to guess what happens. We're going to raise these fucking stakes, people, and we're going to introduce like a couple more old actors because these people are all jobless. It's wild how none of them could get a gig.
Yeah, I know that by the end, like, basically every character from any of the previous movies has shown up.
Every single movie character is in there. We got the Asian kid from 2. We've got Silver. We've got Kreese. We've got the other small little Cobra Kai guys that like Daniel technically was with. You're like, wait, those guys still exist? Yeah, those guys too. We have mini bosses from movies showing
if we're
up.
Gonna get fucking legacy sequels, I much prefer that style where they bring back the relatively obscure stuff. Because, like, let's be real, Karate Kid 2 and 3 don't have the best reputations.
That's why it's so fun.
Yeah,
It's great.
That's how I felt about the RoboCop Rogue City video game. Like, they didn't just do the hits from RoboCop; they had the relatively obscure shit from 2 and 3. So it felt like an actual love letter to RoboCop and not
Just
a
lore.
tie-in.
It's great.
They also even kind of explain some of the shit in RoboCop 3. Like, oh, that's how the old man died. Oh, that's why the building is different. Like, that kind of shit.
There were some weird, good like movie games, like the Matrix game. It was very strange.
Terminator Resistance from 2019. That's by the same studio as RoboCop. Fucking amazing game.
I just love the Terminator arcade game personally.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Now, speaking of both fanboy bitching and shows on Netflix in the form of Cobra Kai, there's not much to discuss, but why the fuck is everyone being mad about Stranger Things all of a sudden?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really know Stranger Things. Here's my pitch here. I've seen the movie Super 8.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. I understand how children are, and I understand it was cool in the 80s. Is there anything else? Do I need something like?
Stranger Things is not the most original show. It's my most normie take how much I like it, honestly. Like, I'll fully admit that. You can call it nostalgia slop if you want, and sometimes you'll even be right. But it's just played very genuinely. That's what it is, really, is like, all right, they're referencing a bunch of shit I've seen before, I get it, but like, goddamn it, these actors are taking this seriously, and they are giving their all, and it can't help but work on you a little bit, just because, like, all right, Winona Ryder is treating this like it matters.
Fair.
And like, it's shot very, like, other than using modern effects and shit, which, that could, like, and don't get me wrong, there's been one or two that were not good, but like, it's shot kind of 80s style, like very heavy on like letting a moment hang for a minute with some music in the background, and like let the actors' facial expressions tell you how to feel, like very Spielberg-esque kind of.
I get it.
Like, I get it if you don't like it, but well, so here's the thing, is that they're releasing this season in batches of episodes, and everyone's acting like the latest batch of them sucked, and I'm like, that's the same shit it was fucking last season. What are you upset about? I think you're just sick of this show, which that's fine, but don't act like the show got worse all of a sudden.
People need new content. People need new shows.
It was like Tiger King. When fucking COVID first hit, we were all locked inside, and we all watched goddamn Tiger King because we had nothing else going on. And then, like, a year and a half later, they did a second season of Tiger King, and everyone was acting like it sucked. And I'm like, it's the same fucking level of attention.
No, I need to specify something. Just because I am a lover of Tiger King.
Okay.
So there's Tiger King season 1. There's Tiger King season 2. And then we thought there was a Tiger King season 3, but it was like a behind the scenes of Tiger King where it was Joel McHale doing fucking Zoom interviews.
Yeah, that was like shot right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah, and like I think a bunch of us just like got excited because it was COVID.
It wasn't just that though. Like, I'm talking like when COVID was over, not really, but over, they released a second season.
I think after that they had
they had the Doc Antle one too.
Yeah, I was gonna say after that's Doc Antle, but because there's no more Tiger King after the behind the scenes, and there's Doc Antle, and then I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. But like, Stranger Things.
I love Tiger King, man. Tiger King's the best.
Honestly, here's the way to describe it, and I agree. Stranger Things there are a lot of modern problems with TV that are evident in Stranger Things. Here's the thing. Unlike all those other shows, it's not Stranger Things' fault.
I've never heard that statement before.
So, like, I'm not talking story ideas. Basically what I mean is the actors look fucking old now, and there's too long between seasons, are what the two things everyone complains about.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just...
So, as for the actors looking too old, I mean, the characters are at the age where kids grow very suddenly.
I think this is the problem with American television. We're not good with we are scared of time skips over here, dude.
So Stranger Things is not. That's part of why I forgive it, is that there actually are like anywhere from 6 months to 18 months between seasons.
Shit, make them older then. Who cares?
Well, yeah, like because each season at the beginning they have like a date stamp of when it is.
Fair.
Sometimes they do later on too, but like so.
Give you a birthday party.
Well, yeah. So, like, if we're just talking seasons 4 and 5, season 4's date was like November or March 22nd, 1986. And then season 5's date was November 3rd, 1987. So it's been like a year and a half. I'm okay with like the actors looking a little older.
Yeah, who cares?
I will say, Holly, the little sister, is a weird case because she was like 3 in the first season.
Recast her.
Well, they did. They had the same twins playing her the first 4, and then they recast her.
When in doubt, on Vivid Out.
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is that for some reason, Holly appears to have undergone soap opera rapid aging syndrome.
Sure.
Which is the thing where a character suddenly ages to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Though you can fudge it, because Holly... Because last season, they explicitly referred to her as being 6. Because one of the characters says, I always know where my guns are locked up. I have a 6-year-old in the house.
Well, that's just bad writing, then. You shouldn't put the number in.
Well, it made sense because she was like 2 or 3 in the first season and 3 years passed. So, yeah, she'd be 6.
Okay.
So and then in this season... Well, yeah, in this, they don't say her age in this one. It's just weird because she looks too old to be 7 because the actress isn't, but, you know.
She's just a stunted 7.
She could be as old as 8, like, depending on where in 6 she was last season. Like, she could be as old as 8.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, as for why she's clearly being played by an 11-year-old, because they need someone who can act. It happens, but what are you going to do?
Do those 3 years really matter to people? I mean...
It's just a little weird. No, most people just bitch that, like, Will Byers looks like a man now, and it's like, well, yeah, he is. He was 12 in season 1.
How old is he now?
Well, the actor's probably like 22, but...
No, how's the character?
16, 17?
This is going to sound crazy. You have 2 options here. Age up the character or recast the character. Why is this so difficult for people?
No, it's just funny because they have a flashback to an unseen thing that happened during season 1, and they had to have like a CGI deepfake young Will Byers. Like, that's just kind of...
Too much work! We don't need this!
We kind of did need to see that scene, but whatever.
I'm just saying, okay, if I can live in a world where young Sheldon is bigger than the Big Bang Theory, then maybe we could all just deal with some age downs, recast some characters.
The other thing everyone bitches about with Stranger Things is how long the gaps between seasons are, and I agree that's a huge fucking problem in modern TV. But Stranger Things is the bad example because, one, they have a lot of visual effects, but more importantly, both of their super long gaps between seasons weren't their fault.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many shows. I don't expect things to come out like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to that in a minute, but like, so with Stranger Things, they actually used to be pretty good about having relatively short gaps between seasons because it was only a year between 1 and 2, and then like a year and a half between 2 and 3.
Oh, God.
But then what happened was 3 years till 4, and then another 3 till 5, which is bad. But that's because of 1, COVID, and 2, the writer's strike.
So what are you gonna do?
Basically what it is that so many other shows also had super long gaps between seasons without such a good explanation. So people got mad at them, and now they look at Stranger Things and they're like, "You too."
We just need new stuff.
I do agree that it does kind of suck that the art of the 22 episode TV season is kind of gone. Well, unless you watch like the slop shows on network TV, but you know.
Well, no, but like we are not talking about Chuck Lorre's backwash. I can't.
Well, yeah, like Blue Blood still gets fucking 20 episodes a season, or Law and Order, but
How long are those episodes? Is my first question.
40 minutes, I think. Like 42 without commercials.
42 without commercials. Okay, I mean, I don't like either of those shows, so I don't necessarily know what to say, except like, I don't think Good Things can pump out like that.
Well, see, yes and no, because really, so back in the day, network TV was basically all there is, and so as a result, there are good shows that are on network TV. Now, all the good shows most of the good shows have fled to streaming or even cable, if you go back far enough.
I mean, I'd argue network shows were all right. You had Sopranos, and even that was kind of pay to play already. And that was one of the first good shows.
Yeah, prestige TV.
Yeah.
Basically, the problem is that everything wants to be prestige TV now, and so now there aren't really shows you can reliably find every week, unless you watch fucking Blue Bloods.
But like, what do you want to watch every week that you need that?
I don't know. Like, I'll put it this way: I don't think Star Trek: The Next Generation would be better if it only had 10 episodes a season.
I get what you're saying.
Like Stranger Things. I wouldn't want 22 episodes a year of Stranger Things, but I would like 22 episodes a year of The Pit. In fact, that's part of why The Pit was so popular, is because holy shit, 15 episodes?
I don't think I know this show.
It's a medical show that started like very, very end of last year, but it's amazing. It's probably the best medical show I've ever watched. Many an ER worker has said that it is the most accurate portrait of an emergency room they've ever seen on television.
Well, that doesn't sound like fun.
Well, I remember one lady on a TikTok my mom sent me said the only thing they got wrong was that they made it quieter than it is in real life, but she gets why they did it, because you have to have the characters talk to each other.
It's so loud.
Yeah. So other than not being ridiculously loud, it is a hauntingly accurate portrait of emergency medicine.
Well, I'm guessing also most of the characters probably have rooms.
Not really, no, because it's just the ER.
Put them in the hallway.
Well, yeah, like they can sneak away to a room for this scene or that scene, but...
Nah, man, everyone's in the hallway.
But yeah, like the doctors do not have an office that they can retreat to.
No, I don't mean like that. I just mean like patients. Just like...
So some do. So in the last season, because it takes place, it's like 24. It takes place all in one day. Each episode is an hour of the shift, like shot more or less in real time.
Okay.
And it works, unlike 24.
This just doesn't sound fun.
Well, I mean, it's not fun in the sense that it's wacky hijinks, but it's fun in the sense that it's a gripping story that doesn't let you go.
I don't want to watch no hospital story for that. I can get plurbed.
Yeah, well, true. But
what do you mean?
So I don't know. It's just a fucking amazing show. But so anyway, each episode's an hour, and so there's some of the ER guests are there for like the whole fucking season. And then in last season, because the shift is supposed to be 12 hours, because that's how long the standard ER shift is.
Okay.
In hour like 10 or 11 or so, a mass shooting happens at a nearby concert. And their hospital is the nearest one to the mass shooting. So they get a flood of like literally dozens of gunshot victims to add to their already cramped schedule.
My guy.
Yeah, and then like...
Why don't you just watch the news? This is not fun.
Well, it's so fucking good, though, that you can't look away from it. It's so good.
We live in this dystopia, my friend. Like...
Yeah, and like one of them is the sort of stepson of the lead doctor, and he was there with his girlfriend, and he got like grazed, and his girlfriend got really badly hurt. And so like there's the family dynamic there too. And like, you know, fucking like, oh, one of these patients appears like shows signs of being sex trafficked, but they're not enough for us to refer it to the police. So how the hell do we handle it? Like, there's all kinds
What
of
does
shit
that
like
mean?
that.
Not enough to refer it to the police.
Like, there's no strong evidence that she's being sex trafficked, but like a ton of hunch alarm bells are going off, type of thing.
So I'm making an a Ninny Mouse tip.
Well, what she does, I guess, spoilers for this one thing, is that she gives her one of the hospital's pens to sign a form or whatever, and then tells her keep the pen. And then we find out that the pens, if you disassemble them, have a sex trafficking hotline they can call, hidden on a thing inside the pen.
That's fun.
And the lady does take the pen, so she's like, "Okay, I did my part. Like I did everything I could in this situation." What?
So like, we're just gonna assume this lady.
No, she showed her that the pen had something in it earlier.
Okay.
But the first time we see the pen, we don't know that. At least I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched it, but it's a fucking amazing show. One of the doctors is played by Brad Dourif's daughter, and she looks fucking freakishly like Brad Dourif. Here we go.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, this one will do. So, does she not look quite a bit like her father?
Man, hell, she looks like fucking Steven Tyler.
Here, Fiona Dourif, Brad. Yeah, they look pretty alike, do they not?
They look like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men.
And near the end of the season, her character's father shows up to pick up her son, and it's actually Brad Dourif. Like, oh, nice. And I love him as an actor. Like, I'll be happy anytime I see him in anything.
I can't think of any of his work, honestly.
Well, probably most famously, he's Chucky. He's the voice and the original human form of Chucky. But he also he was in Exorcist 3. Yeah, he's in Exorcist 3, which is fantastic. His first role ever was the stuttering guy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Nice.
But he was in the Rob Zombie remakes of Halloween 2 or Halloween 1 and 2. He was probably the best part of those movies because they kind of suck. But he's fucking amazing in them.
Okay.
He's done a lot of Lynch stuff too. He was in Dune. The David Lynch, like he was in Dune and like.
Oh no! I know. It's just funny. Like what?
Who was he in fucking Dune? I forget who he was. He was one of the like main guys.
So.
Oh, he was Piter. He was Baron Harkonnen's fucking like manservant guy.
Speaking of post-apocalyptic media, that once again people get whiny about.
Yeah, I remember you wanted to talk about this.
I just don't know what's happening. I've been a big old fan of Fallout ever since I was a wee lad because I knew some nerd in private school who was into this. So I don't think I've seen a more faithful rendition of a video game than what I got this last episode. And yet the internet's trying to murder each other over this. And it's one of those classic things. I don't know if you encounter this a lot, but so there's a problem of these people complaining who are like, oh, it's not accurate. But then there's also almost a bigger problem of people complaining that there's people complaining. And like, it's just.
You know, I'm a Star Wars fan, right? Like asking me this question of all people and wondering if I can relate to it.
But like, what? Your people got so much media. We're just starting to get something half decent.
That's
and
fair.
I have to see silly arguments from people who either don't have good media literacy, which I'll admit is most people,
Yeah.
But they're either that or they just don't play half the goddamn games.
You do get a lot of that. A lot of people of fake fans.
Straight up fake fans fighting and complaining. Do me a favor and look up a character they just introduced.
Okay.
Harkness. Paladin Harkness. Because I don't know the name of this guy, but I know that you know this guy.
This guy?
Well, that's him in the game.
Okay.
And then just type in TV show. I'm sure it'll. Yeah. Yeah.
It's Kumail Nanjiani.
Thank you. I always forget his name.
And here we go. He was actually literally just on a podcast I was listening to yesterday, and he mentioned that he's in Fallout. So
I want you to notice it in the beginning. It already starts with people going, "I'm confused." Oh no.
He's a different ethnicity.
Yes, and I want to tell you the funniest fucking thing.
Okay.
The backstory of this guy is he changed his fucking face to look like that in the game in the first place. I have never seen such a clear example of like, what are we doing anymore? The guy probably looked like that. Shit. He got his entire like skin replaced.
So Kumail Nanjiani is his original form, and somewhere along the way he turned white.
No.
Okay.
So we know that when we first fucking met this robot, which is from TV show standpoint, like
this is a robot.
30, he is a Blade Runner.
Oh, a replicant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the easiest way to make this conversation go quick.
Okay, he's a replicant.
Yeah. So we meet him in a game set like 30 years before the TV show, and he doesn't know he's a replicant. We know there's a replicant somewhere in the city because there's someone here who's trying to find him. So we kind of do some investigative Sherlock Holmes fun. We can find out that it's this guy, and you can either give him back his memories.
It literally says replicated man. Okay.
Yeah. You can either give him back his memories. You can just have him remain not knowing. You can sell him back into slavery, back to the people who like made him. There's like options. And then we don't fucking know. But the whole point is we don't know the goddamn story of what happened. We just know the guy changed his face and now he's here. We don't know exactly.
Okay, so you're saying that we already had existing knowledge that he could look different if we see. Okay.
So it's just very silly that there's giant internet forums of confusion over why this is even a conversation. Like, what are we doing?
Is it real confusion, or is it people being racist and saying, I'm just asking questions, dude?
I'm not sure anymore.
Okay.
Because, like, some of these people seem really confused.
Okay, because I'm thinking of, like, not that I want to bring it all the way back to Star Trek, but I'm thinking about how, like, when Star Trek Into Darkness came out, and to the surprise of literally nobody, Benedict Cumberbatch turned out to be Khan. And a ton of people were like, why the fuck is Khan white? So much so that they released a comic book to explain it.
I mean, like, it doesn't... Yeah, it's not one of those, because from where I'm sitting, usually the nice thing to happen when you're talking about the Protaga 3, just because he was a good dude. And so he probably just fucking frees the dude, sends him on his way, has him get a fucking facial reconstruction. And so now we get this cool actor showing up looking buff. And like he literally just says his name. We don't even get any context on what he's doing.
Okay, so this might not even be the same motherfucker. This could be a namesake or something.
It could be a namesake. There's a lot of fun options here.
Yeah. That I fucking hate that when people are like, I think like the ability to binge watch TV destroyed people's attention spans because you saw it with Pluribus a ton. They'd be like, oh, what? That doesn't make sense. And then like an episode later it does. And it's like, if you just fucking waited, you'd know that.
What part of Pluribus didn't make sense to people? Jesus.
Dude, there were literally, you know how Zosha, when we first find her, is all dirty and fucked up because she's in a war zone, and then she like shows up at Carol's house all cleaned up?
Yeah.
There were people who literally didn't understand that was the same character.
Because they picked the one that looked more like most like Waikaro according to Helen's fucking memories. And it was
no, I get that. what I mean is like there were people who literally didn't understand that the dirty fucked up bitch and the nice clean bitch were the same actress.
She walked in a shower, came out clean.
We saw
handed
her.
clothes.
Yeah, I know, but that's what happens when you watch TV when you're looking at your fucking phone.
People's attention span is just gone. They do not know how to consume anything.
That's another thing Stranger Things gets accused of, by the way, is that it's like written to watch while you're on your phone. And I'm like, why? Because the dialogue is like, I mean, it's not that the dialogue's even simplistic. It's just that, like an old-fashioned movie, typically only one character speaks at a time. It's like, yeah, the dialogue's pretty easy to follow. Oh, and sorry to derail from Fallout, but I forgot to mention this part. In the latest episode of Stranger Things, because the series finale comes out tomorrow.
Ooh.
But in the latest episode, Will, who's one of the characters who we've long suspected of being gay, especially because the actor is in real life, he comes out to his friends and family, finally. Because in order, like, he has a psychic connection to the main villain because of what happened to him back in season 1. And the main villain targeted him and the other kids because he targeted kids he felt were weak. Like kids who came from fucked up home lives or like had something in their life that was messing with them, basically.
Why kids?
Because they're like vulnerable to him or whatever.
Weird. Okay.
It takes a few cues from it to the point that it even does the like last time a kid disappeared in this town was 27 years ago thing. Like,
yeah, that's why I'm like, okay.
And by the way, the guy who they thought was involved in that was played by Robert Englund in a nice little cameo.
Nice.
So anyway, he decides that if he's going to go into this final battle with the monster, he has to lay it all out on the table. He can't be keeping any secrets. He can't be hiding any vulnerabilities. So
will he not type situation?
No, it's more just like, shit, he's finally doing it. Oh yeah, I get it. Very funny. Sorry, I'm still fucking stoned.
Aren't you always?
No, not always.
Fair.
So, Will, he goes to tell his mom that he's fucking gay, basically. And before he can tell her, he gets interrupted by one of the other characters who immediately realizes he's walked into a tender moment and he tries to leave. And he goes, no, stay. In fact, I think I need everyone to hear this. So he gathers all the main characters and basically just gives a little 7-minute monologue about, like, not just the fact that he's gay, like, that's just at the end. It's more about how, like, he's learned to be strong and, like, how he's learned his potential, all that shit. And
I'm sorry, I'm corrupted by things. All I can think of as soon as you said 7 minutes is, okay, so it's R. Kelly's trapped in the closet.
Yes, essentially. So he gives a whole thing about how his friends have inspired him and everything. And then at the end, he nuts up and he admits, he doesn't even say I'm gay because of the era it's set in. He says, I don't like girls. Well, not the way you guys do. And they get what he means. And they're all accepting of it. Cool, that's nice. And people on the internet were bitching about that. Like, oh, in the real 1980s in Indiana, they wouldn't have been. And it's like, well, the real 1980s in Indiana didn't have a fucking demon monster from hell trying to kill them all. They have bigger things to worry about than the fact that their friend likes men.
That's just a biased perspective also. Like, it's like people... Okay, stereotypes exist for a reason. And sure, I'm not going to say it would be automatic, but like shit happens everywhere.
By the way, just to be clear, Will wasn't vulnerable to the monster because he was gay. He was vulnerable to the monster because he had a fucked up home life and his dad had abandoned him, and like he had a number of problems going on.
Yeah,
and he also had a secret that he was like starting to realize at the age he was when he was kidnapped, because he was 12. So that would have been right when he was like starting to figure it out.
I didn't think being gay was what made him susceptible to the
I'm just making it clear that they weren't doing he was only vulnerable because he was gay.
That would be interesting.
Like, we technically didn't know he was gay till this season. We just kind of assumed it based on the subtext of some of the way he interacted with people.
Weird question, by the way.
What?
If a show drops tomorrow on Amazon Prime, When do they actually do that? Are they one of those lame people who I gotta wait till like nighttime?
It varies. In the case of this one, which is Netflix, it's going to be 8 p.m. specifically.
Okay.
But some Amazon stuff goes up at like in the middle of the night. Some goes up at a specific time, like past 8 or whatever. What show is it? Fallout?
Yeah, I got my new episode tomorrow.
I'm guessing either 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
I don't wanna.
I don't know. Like people now, personally, I would have been okay with the Stranger Things cast being like a little bit homophobic in earlier seasons to reflect the accuracy of small town Indiana in the 1980s.
I mean, just what is this show about? Overcoming adversity or fighting D&D monsters? Just let's.
Well, I mean, both kind of, but I don't really like they toned down the level of homophobia and frankly of racism that would have actually been present in that time and place. And I get it because it's supposed to be one, fun, and two, it's supposed to feel like something from that era.
Nothing's as fun as revisionist history, my guy.
Well, so here's the thing. Like I say this about Indiana Jones as well. Because the Indiana Jones movies are a purposeful throwback to like 30s adventure serials. I'm okay with certain tropes in them that I otherwise wouldn't be.
So I'm okay with everything that happens in Indiana Jones because I'm fully on the level that he's just a villain.
Yeah, well, we could fucking argue about that later.
That
but
belongs in a museum. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'll talk about that afterwards. Anyway,
it doesn't.
So, like, I'm okay with Indiana Jones having a bit of a fast and loose grasp on the laws of physics.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, his whip is different. Who cares?
Yeah. So with Stranger Things, like for example, we get Soviet agents as bad guys in one season.
Wait, isn't the Holy Grail melts dudes' faces off, and we're complaining about physics? Okay.
Well, that was actually the Ark, but
the Ark of the Covenant melts dudes' faces off. The Holy Grail, wrong Holy Grail makes a dude turn old. My bad.
So, like with Stranger Things, we got like Soviet agents as bad guys at one point, and because this is supposed to be an '80s throwback adventure movie, I'm okay with the agents being portrayed a little bit generically.
I want Victor and Victor. I want Street Fighter character level stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have been fine if you'd had like the Stranger Things kids tossing around a couple casual slurs, but they didn't do that because they wanted to be fun. Now, what they did do was that when they had antagonistic characters, they'd have them whip out the homophobia.
Listen,
to remind you that it was still there.
It's fine.
And plus, there's another character who's a lesbian, and she did reference the fact that like her life is fucked if anyone outside of her friend circle finds out.
That just like little inconsistency as far as protecting our characters.
Well, it's more just like this homophobia exists, but because we have to like these characters, we're not going to see them engage in it.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, I get it, but whatever. It's supposed to be fun. Like, whatever.
Bring me the racism.
Yeah, there's less racism than you'd expect. Now, granted, it is the 80s, not the 50s, but still, there was plenty of racism in the 80s.
Listen, we hadn't reached the 1990s where we all held hands and pretended like racism was dead yet.
Yeah, there's some reference to it, but they just, like, they got more important shit to worry about with D&D monsters.
D&D.
But, like, I'm thinking of, like, back in Season 2 when they tried to be the Ghostbusters for Halloween and they wound up with two Venkmans because Lucas refused to be Zedmore just because he's black and, like...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was amusing.
Fair.
In regards to the Indiana Jones thing, I'm gonna fucking hit that while I'm thinking about it. So, Indiana Jones is working with what he's got, man.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me, is the only thing accurately
remember.
Described.
So let's just go by the movies here, because I'm not getting. There are Indiana Jones books and video games and shit. I'm not gonna get into those. Yeah. In the movies, at least, the only time we see him going after an artifact from a culture that still exists is the very opening of Raiders. And when he does it, he's surprised to see them, which kind of implies to me that he was misled about whether or not they were still alive.
But he didn't drop it.
Well, he had arrows pointed at him. He didn't have the ability to drop it or not.
I don't know, man. He could do that whole run. I'm just he could drop it.
Like, as for the rest, so like actually in the opening of Last Crusade, he
He toss him in the
basically,
plane.
well, so in the opening of Last Crusade, he basically says exactly what he's thinking in the flashback where he's played by River Phoenix, because he's trying to get the Cross of Coronado from the fucking bandit guys.
Okay,
And the leader of the bandits, who's just called Fedora in the credits.
I like that.
Like, they literally call him Fedora in dialogue at one point.
That's just his cool street name.
Yeah, so he says, like, that cross belongs to me. And Indy says, the cross belongs to Coronado. And he says, Coronado is dead, and so are all of his grandchildren. And Indy says, well, then it belongs in a museum.
No! Why?
Well, like,
you can't just pilfer it because, like, you want to put it in a different collection.
It's not, so actually, so this is implicit in the movies and said explicitly in the books and video games and shit. Indy puts shit in the museum because it is the best he can do to preserve it. Indiana Jones fundamentally believes that knowledge is a human right. And so if there's nobody an artifact can go to, like no people to whom it means something because they're dead or whatever, he believes its proper place is in a public museum so that anybody with any interest can walk in for free or close to it and learn about it.
Do you think it's ironic that Indiana Jones wants to make sure that he preserves and keeps the artifacts intact and doesn't corrupt or taint them, but doesn't feel the same way about underage women?
That's another thing. I'll get to that in a minute. Like, Indy literally says in one of the books, at least, that he does what he does, like, in part specifically to keep these artifacts out of the hands of private collectors. He wants them publicly owned by, like, the museum or the government. As for the underage girl thing, there is no fucking evidence of that except for the novelization of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which has other non-canon elements in it.
How old is she in that movie?
They never say.
She's pretty fucking young.
Not really. I mean, like, she might be younger than him, but she's sure as hell not, like, barely legal or college aged. Like, she's been around the fucking block.
She's like 23 at most.
Well, the actress was 30 at the time, and the
Sure,
character...
and, like, you always age down like 10 years every time you're casting like these, but...
Not always. Like,
well, fair. Not always, but...
Like, honestly, my assumption... Like, when I first watched that movie as, like, a child, my assumption was Marion was, like, 32.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't have a lot of lines in her face, because Karen Allen has a pretty youthful face, but, like... You know, she's been around the block. She's certainly close enough in age to Indy that he thinks of her as, like, a peer.
See, I always took it as the young, spunky upstart who, like, I worked with your dad, and, like, you were just always around. I don't know, it just feels a little Woody Allen to me.
Well, she's probably younger than him, but, like, I could easily imagine that, like, when he was working with her father, he was 25 and she was 21 or whatever.
I'd like to imagine. That's just not the implication I always get. But, I mean...
Well, again, like, the only source, other than, like, old drafts of the script that didn't make it to the final cut, the only source for that is the novelization of Raiders, which is based on those old scripts, and which also has other shit that has been contradicted by later material.
I mean, plus, all right. You really want to play hardball? How could you not love Shia LaBeouf? That's just sin in and of itself.
I like his character in that movie.
Well, no, he didn't love and raise him.
Well, he didn't raise him because he didn't know he existed, but...
We should have done better.
Well, yeah, that's the point, is that Indy was an asshole on that front.
I just feel like he's always an asshole.
Well, yeah, he can be unlikable in some situations, but, like,
don't get me wrong,
politically... Like, yeah, politically, he's supposed to be the good guy pretty unambiguously.
It's just, I mean, fighting the Nazis, definitely. Later on, it gets a little weird, especially when it's like the Civil War thing. He's not really on a good political side there.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, because it's just two powers equally engaging and trying.
Oh, the Cold War, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you'll notice in Crystal Skull, this is something I didn't used to notice when I was younger, and I noticed upon rewatch. His relationship with Dr. Spalko, who's the main antagonist, is a lot less antagonistic than it was with the Nazi commanders.
I just thought that's because he's old.
Well, it is, but like you notice there's times where circumstance aligns such that the two of them are working together for a scene. And when they do, they talk excitedly like colleagues who are both excited to learn something. Like
Fucking nerds.
their relationship comes across much more like they just happen to be on opposite sides of a conflict. And if they weren't, they would probably respect each other a lot.
Okay.
Like they see each other as like worthy adversaries.
Okay.
And also, the Soviet Union sucked at communism so fucking badly that Indy would never support them, even if he was a communist. So,
I mean, that's true, but we suck at capitalism so bad. How many times we gotta fix our economy? It's not really like we're
Indy has never struck me as a very strong capitalist. I'll put it that way. Especially
those museums ain't free.
Well, I mean, the one he's giving it to seems to be, or it seems to be like $10 for a ticket, or whatever that times equivalent of $10 is. Like it's the public museum.
Okay. Okay.
And in regards to the money thing, like Indy basically has probably left untold riches on the fucking table with some of the artifacts he's found in exchange for giving them to the museums for free. Or in the case of some of them getting requisitioned by the US government.
How much shit is in that fucking vault, and how much shit did he get for them?
We know of 2 for sure.
But like, is it ever implied that there's just stuff we don't see?
Well, of course there is. That's why the warehouse is so fucking big, is so you wonder, oh, how much other crazy shit is out there.
Well, that's where I'm like, how many live cultures is Indy pilfering from?
Well, again, other than the opening of Raiders, none.
I'd hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah, like typically when we see, like even in the books and the video games, when we see him going after something, it's usually from a dead culture. In the case of the opening of Raiders, the tour guides were planning to kill him and steal the loot. So they were misleading him about the nature of the traps and shit, which implies to me that they were also misleading him about whether the Javito culture was even still alive.
That just screams naivety. Wait, I mean...
It does, but like when he comes out of that cave and there's 30 dudes with arrows pointed at him, he looks shocked that they're there.
Wait, what about the Indian people?
That's what I'm talking about, those guys.
No. Kali Ma, they're alive.
Oh, Temple of Doom? Well, he wasn't stealing the artifacts from them. They stole the artifacts from the village. He was stealing them back to give them back to the village. Now, that's White Savior, sure. I'm not calling Temple of Doom flawless. But no, he literally was asked for their help and tried to resist, which is better than some White Savior movies.
Low bar, but fair.
Yeah, like he didn't go there seeking to be a hero. He crashed there by accident, ran into them, and they said, "Hey, you're a world traveler with the skill set that's useful to us. Can you help us, please?" And he said, "Yeah, sure."
Dr. Jones.
Yeah. But like, I'm trying to think of like a good example. Because I'm thinking of like the video game, because I played the video game recently, and it's fucking amazing, by the way. And there's actually a scene where one of the other characters semi-jokingly calls him a tomb robber. And he says, like, no, I'm trying to preserve knowledge. We have a lot to learn from the past. I'd rather that as many people can learn about this as possible.
Unless it's the Holy Grail, and then it's going in a box.
Well, he tried to get the Holy Grail, but it fucking fell down the cliff.
Unless it's the Ark of the Covenant. That's
yeah, the Ark he intended to be studied. Well, first he intended to just, it's a thing of historical value, and then he found out it's actual fucking magic, so then he was like, it needs to be studied. But the U.S. government, in an act of surprising fucking wiseness from them, said, nope, that's going in a fucking box, and we're never looking at it again.
And he's had time to just go back to teaching schoolgirls.
Yeah, which, by the way, that is one thing that is helped make clearer by the games. The attraction between Indy and the schoolgirls is entirely one-sided.
Well, I mean, it all just stacks up, like...
Yeah, like, actually, at the beginning of the game, the first little non-tutorial mission, you're at the college, and you can go into Indy's classroom, and there's a few collectibles and shit in there. And one of them is a note from a student who's clearly trying to fuck him. And he's just like, yeah, I know. Okay. Like, he's clearly not interested, but he doesn't want to be mean either. So
he just can't let the camera see what he's doing. He's going to save it for later.
Indy appears to exclusively be interested in women who are within a decade of his own age. Like, if we just look at the women he's with throughout the movies. And in fact, fuck the movies. In the games and books, too, when there's a female lead who's a romantic interest for him, in some way she's always like a peer of his. Except for the first one of those books where he actually fucks his own professor, by the way.
What? Okay, so to be cool, or to be clear, he's cool with a student fucking a professor.
Well, he's not so much cool with it as they both do it, and then they're like, that was probably a fucking bad idea.
He's actively engaged in student-professor sex.
Well, this is when he was the student.
Oh no, that's an isolated incident. Oh yeah, the isolated incident. Tribe isolated incident.
Indy is literally 22 in that book, so I'm willing to forgive it a little more. Because this is like him before he's even a professor. This is like his super young days.
If he had the hat, then that's all that matters.
Well, he got the hat when he was 13, dude.
Exactly. That was his Indiana Jones bar mitzvah.
The book actually explains why he always carries the whip, because at one point he's climbing out of a sinkhole and there's a thing he'd be able to reach if he had the whip, but he doesn't. And when he finally makes it out, he commits to himself that from now on he never goes on one of these without that whip.
It's just so silly.
But like, so if we stick to like the movies, for example, Allison Doody, which, yes, that's her name, she was only 23 when she played Elsa, so she's a lot younger than Harrison Ford, but the character of Elsa does not appear to be much younger than Indy, because she has a doctorate and is like well respected globally in the field of archaeology.
I don't know. Prodigies exist all over the place.
They do, but what's more likely? Elsa's the most brilliant prodigy on Earth, or Elsa is 30?
What's more likely is Indiana being a little creepy.
Not really. If he's 38 and she's, how old? Yeah, he's 39 in that movie. If he's 39 and she's in her like early 30s, like, whatever.
If she's in her early 20s, I was like, all right, that's fun.
Well, yeah, but again, like, unless she is literally the most brilliant archaeologist on Earth, she does not have fucking globally recognized archaeological reputation at age 23.
Who else is a peer of Indiana Jones except for the brilliant top caliber of scientists?
Well, yeah, also remember, she's a woman in the late 1930s. Like, she
exactly.
had to fucking work
women
a
in
long
STEM,
fucking time.
she has to be exceptional. Women in STEM.
Also, she's a Nazi, which is a problem.
Oh, and you know Nazis love doing shit young. That's a whole thing.
Well, they do, but still, like... Oh, well, okay, to be clear, she's not ideologically a Nazi. The Nazis were useful to her, so she allied with them. But according to the movie itself, there's no difference between those things.
I mean, there's not real... I mean, okay, Werner von Braun didn't have to believe in the Third Reich to use the slaves of them. Like, I don't give a shit what you believe. I give a shit about what you're doing in practicality.
You know, in hindsight, it was actually really good of them to have Indy explicitly say to her multiple times in that movie, I don't care if you're not ideologically aligned with them. To me, you're no better than them. Because
that's the whole... Because you are a Nazi. You don't have to believe in the Nazi to be goose-stepping.
The only reason I said she's technically not a Nazi is because I was remembering, oh yeah, she would have been well into her academic career before the Nazis took power.
I mean... I don't understand these things, because, like, if you operate under a Nazi banner, then you're a Nazi.
Oh, yeah, she is. I'm just saying, like, there was a time she wasn't.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's a time she was a baby. She is no longer in diapers.
I believe Indy's exact words were, you stood up to be counted against everything the Grail stands for. Who gives a damn what you think? Or something like that. I don't remember the line verbatim, but I think it's something like that.
Like... I don't know. Like if you were a decent scientist, there were so many opportunities to flee. I don't know what to tell you. There were open
Well,
graves.
that's the point. Is that she wanted that Grail more than she wanted to maintain her fucking ethics.
Well, I mean, go get the fucking Grail working with the Brits.
Well, yeah,
Double.
but she. Well, yeah, this is why she's the bad guy. She thought the Nazis
Exactly.
were the quickest and easiest path there.
Therefore, Nazi.
Yeah.
Send it to Nuremberg.
Well, you don't have to because she died, but yes.
Yeah, but like posthumously try her at the Hague. I don't fucking know.
I actually remember distinctly reading how, in the case when they were making Raiders, they realized like during production that they just like they had the Nazis because they make great villains, right?
Yeah, sure.
And during production, Spielberg was like, we should actually mention somewhere in the movie what pieces of shit they are so we don't look like we're whitewashing them. So
Yeah.
he specifically added in the line where he says to Belloc, like, I'm uncomfortable with this Jewish ritual. There's also a subtler, much easier to miss one in Last Crusade. Remember there's that brief scene where they cut away where they're making the deal with like the local king to be allowed to go through his territory or whatever?
Yeah.
In that scene, Donovan presents him this big pile of gold and jewels and shit, and he says, like, here we have valuables generously donated by some of Germany's citizens. And you're like, I suspect you're lying about that one, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that's where you got that.
Oh, fun fact, the guy who played Walter Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade also played General Veers in The Empire Strikes Back.
Huh. Other fun fact. The scientist in Indiana Jones dances to the strain of the I Was Not a Nazi polka.
That's literally true in the last Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Because he appears to... That was weird. So in the promotional material for the last movie, they made it seem like the villain was working with NASA under like an Operation Paperclip thing.
Huh.
Which maybe he was, but he appeared to be using an alias. Because he was going by a different name at the beginning of the movie when he's in America.
I thought that was like the double down because he's trying to make the Fourth Reich and he did that long-term embedding thing.
Well, he did, yeah, but I'm just like we know he uses an alias while working with NASA, so I don't know if that's a cover identity created by Paperclip or if he created his own cover identity.
Yeah, where it's like a Sam Fisher double cover on the cover.
Yeah, well, it's weird because the same promotional material, because you know how Indy's like retiring.
Yeah.
The same material implied that he was being forced out because he was too vocal about hating the Operation Paperclip shit, but that didn't make it into the final movie. So maybe that was like from an earlier draft of the story or something.
Oh, by the way, you speaking of new Indiana Jones, you have to love Fallout because we put a human being in a fridge again.
Oh, did they reference their own Indiana Jones reference?
Yes, they did. Yes.
Okay,
they did.
go back to Fallout. I'm sorry I took us on a 30-minute divergence.
No, that's absolutely fine. See, this last episode, we did the greatest thing we ever needed. We just had a lot of time without Walter Goggins. And so we see the or we already knew part of the backstory of this character, but we got to actually see it happen.
Was it this thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
So last season we saw that, which is just him getting pulled out the fridge, and it was like a 5-second clip, and it was like one of those, y'all really shouldn't have montaged this, but whatever. Like last season was mostly a setup, if I'm understanding their viewpoints now.
By the way, do you know where the fridge thing originally came from?
No.
Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of their original rejected ideas for the time machine was that it was a fridge. And part of why they rejected it was because they didn't want kids to climb into the fridge and get stuck while emulating the movie. But Spielberg was like a main producer on Back to the Future, so the notion of hiding in a fridge near a nuclear test site stayed in his head for like 20 years, and he finally got to use it.
Man, it's great because Fallout has just loved that joke for so fucking long. God,
I'll die on this hill. Crystal Skull is better than you guys remember.
Oh yeah, Crystal Skull's fun.
It's probably still my least favorite, but it is better than anyone remembers.
I mean, that's once again weird bar. Like, but yeah, it did. Like, people who don't like Crystal Skull are the same people who went, "Oh, it's not my Star Wars. Oh, it's not my old thing." Take the nostalgia glasses off, Grandpa. Take the member berries down and chill the fuck out. Like,
after watching Wake Up Dead Man and being reminded of how fucking amazing a filmmaker Rian Johnson is, I will never forgive Disney for not standing by The Last Jedi. That movie was fucking brilliant, and it was literally too smart for its audience.
That was the last one, right?
No, that was the one. That was the one that subverted everyone's expectations. Rise of Skywalker was the hasty course correction from Last Jedi.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay, I understand. Yeah, no, I enjoyed those. People just want to hate. That's what I'm dealing with, man. A bunch of people who want to hate this goddamn series, and they don't even know. I don't even know. I'm just excited for once.
Also, speaking of Last Jedi, I think I sent you this, but I fucking pissed myself when I saw it because it's accurate.
Oh my god.
I have said before, I legitimately think that Donald Trump wouldn't have won the presidency in 2016 if the Ghostbusters movie from that year didn't exist. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. I think so.
That's a very Joe Rogan ass theory, like an early Joe Rogan ass theory.
No, I mean it, because that movie was like the perfect storm to radicalize people who didn't care about politics to the right.
I don't know, man. I if a movie, just a movie of redoing a story that's like what 30 fucking years old with some women is enough to radicalize your populace, I'd argue your populace is already radicalized, and we just have been ignoring a problem.
True, I agree. Though keep in mind, a lot of these people being radicalized were literally like 15 years old. So, also, I learned the other night that Star Trek: The Animated Series is the source of this meme.
Would you like this apple or this apple?
Yeah, atheist meme pages used to fucking post that picture as when they needed a devil, like all the time. And now I finally know where that's from. It's from fucking Star Trek.
Yeah, look at the wacky aliens we got. We've got Devil Guy.
It's funny that Star Trek the Animated Series has been so forgotten when, one, it introduced several key elements of Star Trek lore, and two, it has one of the biggest memes on the internet, the Kirk doing this thing.
I don't know if it's forgotten as much as it's like we've taken everything that we like from it and just reintroduced it into new stuff.
For a long time, it was like, oh, did you know there was a Star Trek cartoon? Like, pretty much till Paramount Plus existed.
Oh, gosh. You poor landlubbers.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a little different, but yeah, like, they're the source of the Kirk doing that, and, like, somehow everyone forgets about that show otherwise.
I mean, are there any other memes other than that one, actually?
I've seen a few others, but this is the one I see, like, every single day.
Fair.
Also, to bring it back to Fallout,
your algorithm has to be feeding you that.
Oh, true. But I've been doing this since long before I was a Star Trek fan too, though. Right. Speaking of Fallout, for another case of character randomly changing ethnicities between mediums, the Star Trek animated series introduced Robert April, who is canonically the first captain of the Enterprise.
Okay.
And they drew him as like an old white guy because it was 1973. Sure. And then when they had Robert April in, I think, either Discovery or Strange New Worlds, they cast a black actor.
Yeah, I mean...
As for why he has apparently changed ethnicities in that 15-year interim, don't worry about it.
Listen, he had to go deep cover to fight Khan. Don't worry about it.
Maybe he's wearing blackface. I don't know.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my Star Trek gal.
Also, I think I've told you this before, but I don't know if I've talked about it on the show before. In the tie-in comic that they did for Star Trek Into Darkness, it's like about that version of Khan and how he got to the point we see him at the movies.
Yeah.
And which I love for having the fucking gall to just go alternate history and depict the eugenics wars as being in the 1990s.
You just love these eugenics wars.
I do, but I also love the fact that when we see like Khan before going cryo freeze, he's drawn to look like Ricardo Montalban.
And then they just spruce him up.
Well, yeah, what happens is that they create a cover identity for him to operate under in the movie, and they give him fucked up science plastic surgery to change his appearance to match the guy whose identity he's assuming.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But, like, when they draw him pre-surgery, they draw him looking like he did in the old universe.
Okay.
Because since the point of divergence between the timelines is the Kelvin attack from the beginning of the 2009 movie, yeah, anything that takes place before that is canon in both timelines. So, like, Enterprise, like, if you go on the Star Trek wiki and, like, read the bio for the...
I get how divergent points work, my guy.
Well, what I mean is, like, they take it so far that if you go on the Star Trek wiki and go to, like, the article for the alternate reality version of Pike from the movies, his bio will include stories he told in Discovery.
Yeah, because it's the same guy.
Because it was before the divergence point. So
yeah, it was the same guy up until it wasn't the same guy.
Yeah, so like even though he's a different actor, we can safely assume that he also grew up in so and so, and like he also had that story about the horse or whatever.
Yeah. Like all the fun things happened up until wee old Kirk Daddy dying.
Well, or conversely, if you go to the page for the prime timeline version of George Kirk Sr., they use the photo of Chris Hemsworth from the movie.
The fact that it's Chris Hemsworth is just...
Yeah, before he was famous, too. That was like one of his first big American roles.
Like, I don't know.
He was like younger than me when he did that.
It's so fun to see how the Marvel actors are when they're not getting just shoveled cash to do nonsense.
Well, they released a trailer today, another teaser for Avengers Doomsday, and this one is about Thor. And it's like 1 minute and 20 seconds long, and he's basically like praying to the Allfather and shit for the strength to protect his daughter or whatever.
Oh my god.
And when I saw it, I literally said he got so into playing Dr. Dementis in Furiosa that now he's addicted to actually trying in his acting roles.
I don't know. I can't with him.
Not that he was bad in the previous Thor movies, but they don't exactly require much from him as an actor. But playing Dr. Dementis did. And so he got to show off, like, damn, he actually can act. I respect that.
See, I'll take Cap any day. That boy can actually act.
I agree, but I don't want him fucking back, and I'm mad that they're bringing him back.
No, I don't want Captain America. I want more Scott Pilgrim. But,
true, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, when they did the show sequel, they got every single voice actor from the movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because everyone loves Scott Pilgrim.
I need to watch that again. It's been too long.
Yeah, you should watch the movie and then watch the show right after.
Yeah, I need to do that at some point.
It's definitely a fun time. Or something I enjoy. If you go on YouTube, because this is free because it was released for charity. All of the actors came back for it was like a 10-year anniversary reading of the script.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they all just love to like roast this boy. Oh, look at the big actor, Hollywood's here, and I love how much he blushes because he's like, oh fuck.
There's quite a few actors who weren't super famous when Scott Pilgrim was made, but now are, including for just Marvel, because Brie Larson's in there too.
It's kind of like that director knew how to fucking cast to it.
Well, yeah, Edgar Wright. It says a lot that a movie as good as Scott Pilgrim is one of my least favorite of Edgar Wright's movies.
Michael Cera just is Scott Pilgrim. It's one of those castings. Like,
yeah,
did you just find the guy?
I always say that about Del Toro as well. His worst movie is Blade 2, which is really good.
That's just such. And then what do we get now? Where's my modern Scott Pilgrim?
True. What was I thinking of about directors who? Oh yeah, like James Cameron. Here's another one. Titanic, which is like the biggest movie ever made, is one of his worst movies.
Okay. You brought
And I
up
like
Jimmy
Titanic
Boy.
a lot.
You brought up Jimmy Boy. Have you seen it yet?
No, I have not seen the last two Avatar movies because I just have been lazy and haven't gotten to them, but I will.
I don't understand why he took like fucking 15 years to make a sequel.
I think he had to wait for the technology to develop, and now it has.
No, so I remember that was specifically what he said. But he does that, and then he's like, all right, now I got another sequel for you like a year and a half later. It's like, no,
I mean, it was more like 3 years to be fair, but
why did you just wait to release Avatar 1 then?
because he had the technology for that one and he didn't for I don't know. He's James Cameron. It's not like he needs the money.
He's the greatest pioneer. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
No budget too deep, no sea too no budget too steep, no sea too deep. Who's
That's
that?
right.
It's him, James Cameron.
James Cameron.
He's raising the bar.
James Cameron keeps raising the fucking bar, people.
But seriously, like Titanic, which is a movie everyone loves, including me, is like way worse than most of his other movies because his other movies are just that good.
I just also hate Titanic.
Why? Other than the song.
Oh, no. Okay. I will make this so fucking clear. White privilege.
Oh,
not just white privilege. Like, just like really inconsiderate Karen level activity. So I want to pitch to you something. I'm going to show up to your door. Now, I know that you're a survivor of the Titanic. I'm going to offer you a free fucking vacation. I'm going to let you relive and revisit if you want to. You don't got to, but you can come and really kind of dive back into that part of your life that you've never been able to access. And we want to give that to you. But like, if you could, it would help us because we are trying to find it so we can find this thing. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll take you up on that. And so she goes, she gets a free vacation, she relives her whole fucking time. And then she takes the thing they were
Yep, I knew you were going to bring this up.
And throws it.
I did say it was worse than his other movies, didn't I?
I'm just saying, that is like, what is the moral here? Because all I hear about the movie constantly is, "Oh, never let go," and then she let go. Nah, she was evil as a young woman. She was evil as an old woman. That woman was inconsiderate. Played a bunch of different people. Used everyone she could for everything she could take.
Tells her granddaughter the story about her getting dicked down on a cruise ship.
Yo, listen, he was an Irish stud. He worked coal. It was great. Like, what the fuck?
I like the part where her mother is like, will the lifeboats be class segregated?
I just... how is this? What? And then you always have some guy in the corner. Well, what about the scene of the band? Okay, it happened. Those guys are pretty cool. It's not really... I mean, they just kind of played instruments on a set. You realize they weren't like the actors weren't on the Titanic. It's not that impressive to play an instrument when some water shows up.
By the way, the actor who played the captain in that movie later played one of the main characters on Legends Tomorrow. And they had a reference to that movie because they said something about like we could go back and visit the Titanic, and he goes, "Absolutely not. I'm never setting foot on that ship. Whoever was captain should have been shot."
Wait, which character was he?
Martin Stein, half of Firestorm.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I love him. I didn't know he was that guy. Oh.
Yeah, when he was much younger and probably less famous, he had that small role as the captain on the Titanic.
Legends of Tomorrow was really cooking for a little bit.
Yeah, I was telling my cousin about it the other day, how it's the type of time travel show she'd enjoy because it just embraces the silliness of time travel.
It's just like, hey, so we're showing up in places and we're fixing time travel.
And she'd seen the clip of fucking Grodd attacking Obama. God. Time to make America Grodd again.
I'm also just biased for any media with Vandal Savage.
Yeah, I was thinking about him earlier when we were talking about Ra's al Ghul. There's one one of the animated movies, one of the otherwise not very memorable ones.
Doom?
Yeah, that one actually had Vandal Savage, and the thing I really liked about his character design was that they gave him like very slightly simian facial features.
That man is ancient.
Yet he's so old that he's from a slightly earlier stage of human evolution.
Isn't that the one also where you just see like his vault for a second? He's just got mad fucking riches.
Well, of course he does. He's been around since the dawn of time.
It just should be shown. It should just be flexed on a little bit. That's
Um,
Genghis Khan. Respect.
They used a similar version of him, maybe even the same character design in Young Justice. And I have a fan theory about the specifically the Young Justice version, though this could apply to broader DC.
Let's hear it.
I think Vandal Savage is the source of the metagene. I think every metahuman on Earth is descended from him at some point.
That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Well, there was one like random 90s comic where just for that story they needed one of the characters to be distantly related to Vandal Savage, so they picked Roy. But then they like never talked about it again. So
like what powers does his daughter have? Because he has just like a straight up daughter.
Yeah, a lot of his kids seem to not have powers.
That's so weird.
Yeah, well, they certainly don't inherit his immortality, because if they did, the planet would have suffocated in human beings long ago.
I mean, yeah, no, he like populated China.
Well, keep in mind, Savage himself, other than his healing and immortality, doesn't really have powers.
I'd say enhanced cognition, but that's
yeah, like he has powers that are a side effect of his immortality, but like
yeah.
But like he doesn't really seem to have like super strength, or at least
he's
not
just an irradiated caveman.
Yeah, he's just an exceptionally strong normal dude who never ages and can heal from anything.
And is smart as balls.
Yeah, he clearly does have an enhanced memory capacity because he can remember shit from 50,000 years ago.
And he's clearly managed his competency. Like, he's adapted with the ages.
Like, I think of, like, the Immortal, in contrast, the Immortal from Invincible, where he still has, like, a normal-ass human memory. So his memory mostly only goes back 100 or so years.
Is it weird for him to be with Duplicate, or do you just kind of call it a day because, like, everyone's younger than you at that point?
Well, not only that, but as Duplicate points out somewhere in there that, well, the reason they fell in love was because he's the only other one who knows what it's like to die. But she does point out that between the amount of time all her copies have lived over the years, she has probably lived as many years as he has.
I remember she said that. It's like, that's such a weird cop-out.
Like, yeah, I think just the real answer is that there's no such thing as an appropriately aged love interest when you're 2,000 years old. So,
I mean, I do like that Invincible just kind of embraces it. Like, you've read the full comic, right?
No, I haven't actually.
All right, I'm not even. Wait. We just beat Conquest on the show, right? That's all we get now.
Yeah, the first Conquest appearance.
Dope. Yeah, that conversation is going to come up occasionally.
So there's a comic you can kind of see up there on my shelf called Superman Batman Generations.
All right,
way up at the top. And it's a comic, it's an Elseworlds. It's about, like, what if Superman and Batman met in 1939 when they both debuted? Well, Superman was 38, but, you know.
Sure.
That was the first year they were both around. So what if they first met in 1939 and then it aged in real time?
Question. Does this mean Superman can only leap tall buildings in a single bound?
So, yes, actually. John Byrne purposefully wrote continuity errors in order to be more like comics from that era.
Cool.
So when Superman first shows up in that story in 1939, we don't see him flying, we just see him jump. But then we will later see flashbacks to before then where he can fly. He wrote that in on purpose.
Nice.
At least one character's name changed from Lara to Kara between issues too, or maybe the other way around. Because that happened a ton. Like, it took forever for them to settle on John and Martha as the names of Superman's parents. Like they were Evan and Sarah at one point. Like, you know, there's been a million things like that.
But But what about the inherent meaning, the value of Martha?
Yeah. In fact, the initial version of Superman's origin just said a passing motorist dropped him off at an orphanage.
That doesn't really work well.
Yeah, it doesn't, which is why they came up with the Kents. Anyway, so in Superman and Batman Generations,
Does Superman help him hang the giant?
I don't get which thing you're referencing.
Oh, just how if it's old Batman, he's just killing shit sometimes.
Oh, yeah, they don't get into that part, but it's implied that early Batman uses rougher methods than later Batman will. But we only see a little glimpse of his life in that one issue, so. But anyway, both of them wind up being functionally immortal. Batman thanks to the Lazarus Pit, Superman thanks to being Kryptonian.
Doesn't the Lazarus Pit make you insane?
I'll explain that. Anyway, the whole reason I thought of this is because at one point in one of the sections of the story that's set centuries later, Bruce winds up with a woman who's like 100 years younger than him, but is also immortal. And she kind of jokes like, when you get to be our age, anyone within a century of you is a contemporary.
I saw a Reddit story once where someone was writing about two immortals who were in a relationship with each other, and they had this terrible line. Let me just put it this way: you're robbing the cradle and the grave.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, okay, that's thank you, Reddit.
So the reason, so what happens with Bruce is that, like I said, it's real time, and each issue set a decade after the previous one.
Okay.
So issue number 5 takes place in 1979, and Bruce Wayne is long since retired from being Batman because he got old.
What about issue 4?
Issue 4 is 1969.
Nice.
So in 1979, Bruce has been searching for this Ra's al Ghul guy he's heard of for years.
How old is he?
How old is Bruce? Or
yeah,
he's like fucking probably 70 years old.
Old ass man in the mountains, like, give me more.
No, literally, yeah. That's not what he wants. He doesn't want immortality. He wants to know who this Ra's al Ghul cocksucker is because Commissioner Gordon fucking disappeared looking for him. And shit like that. Like he's chasing Gordon's disappearance from decades ago.
So to be clear, Gordon, the police commissioner in not New York City, but New York City, is lost chasing a guy in the mountains of Tibet?
He was. They found him after a few years. He just showed up at Bruce Wayne's doorstep telling a crazy story about a guy named Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, okay.
And so Bruce has been, like, in his spare time looking for this guy for decades. And now that he's retired from Batman, he has nothing to do but look for this guy. And so he's like literally climbing through the mountains as an old man because he's kept himself in shape.
Classic.
And he finds Ra's al Ghul, and he's like, I've been looking for you for decades, detective. Like I've been hoping you'd find me because you're a worthy challenger. You're a worthy challenger to the throne of Ra's al Ghul. And so he challenges him to a particular type of duel, which is because he also has been looking for years for a way to make the Lazarus Pit not drive him insane when he uses it.
Fun.
And he's finally figured out that what it is that two people have to go in together. And if they do, they engage in what is basically a metaphysical battle of wills. And whoever loses dies. Whoever wins comes out permanently immortal with no side effects. So Ra's is like, win-win. Either I get to be immortal or I get to finally fucking die. I'm happy either way.
Works out.
So they engage in the battle, and Bruce wins. And so not only does he come out de-aged back to his, like, roughly physical prime, like his 30s, let's say, but he has now inherited the Ra's al Ghul title.
He does not need that much power.
Well, so what happens is that the next issue, 1989, he shows back up at his son's doorstep. His son has been Batman for the last few decades, but he's been getting old. Bruce Jr.
Nice.
They never say who his mother is. Like, we meet her, but they never say her name. They leave it ambiguous on purpose.
Is it the Phantasm bitch?
No, that character I think was created for the 90s movie.
Okay.
And this was, well, not before that, but right around that time. No, that they leave it ambiguous on purpose so that whoever you want Bruce Wayne's girlfriend to be, it can be her.
Okay.
So Bruce, who his son, Bruce Jr., has thought he's dead for a decade. And he shows back up on his son's doorstep, like, surprise, I'm alive.
And I'm young.
Yeah, and he's younger than his own son now.
Weird.
And his son's like, yo, Dad, what the fuck? What's going on here? And he explains he inherited the title of Ra's al Ghul, and he knew that was way too much power for one man to have, even him. So what he did was he spent the decade gradually ceasing all of its criminal assassin activity and transitioning it into a purely legitimate front.
Oh, that's fun.
And then disbanded the League of Assassins.
Nice.
And he comes, well, no, not disbanded it. He disbanded the assassin part, but he comes back. He says, son, I want you to take over the League, running all my legitimate businesses. And his son is like, okay, cool. Why? And he says, because I'm retired now and I want to go back to being Batman because I fucking loved being Batman.
I'm young and I'm Batman forever.
Literally, yeah. And he's like, it seems by this point he's conquered a lot of his inner demons, and he's like, I wasn't just Batman because I had to be. I was Batman because I loved being it. I loved saving people. I loved being a hero. I loved being a symbol of hope to my city. So they agree, and his now older than him son takes over the League of Assassins, and he goes back to being Batman.
Is his son going to get in the pit?
I think he does for a while. I know his son eventually allows himself to die of old age.
True. Okay.
Because unlike his father, he didn't have a drive to keep him going forever. And plus his wife, who was Superman's daughter, had been like horrifically killed decades ago. So when her spirit shows up beckoning him to the afterlife, he's like, all right, I think I've done enough.
I'm out.
Well, he was already dying. He didn't like shoot himself. He just but yes, this is where the weird John Byrne shit comes in. This is why I'm always fucking on the lookout for pedophiles in my goddamn TV. It's because of John goddamn Byrne. So the other immortal woman Bruce winds up with centuries in the future is adoption, but not biologically wise, his great-granddaughter.
Woody fucking Allen again.
To be fair, he didn't know that. Well, okay, so...
Okay, listen, it's just the God of the universe wrote that, looked at it and said, yeah, that's fine. That's all that matters.
So Superman had two children in this universe. He had Joel and Kara Kent. And Joel was born without powers because when she was pregnant with him, Lois got kidnapped by Lex Luthor and the Joker, and that was one of Batman and Superman's team-ups. And she got exposed to gold kryptonite, which permanently takes away a Kryptonian's powers.
What a fucking curse.
Well, so that they decided to not tell their son that his father was Superman because they didn't want him to grow up being the powerless son of Superman. Then a couple years later, they had a second child who was born with powers because, well, not born with them, but they came in later. Because
we're going to talk to you kids.
Well, yeah, they let her in on the secret. But anyway, Lex Luthor secretly behind the scenes has been manipulating Joel Kent's entire life because he realized that's a wedge for me to get the ultimate revenge against Superman. So he basically grooms him into being his henchman. He teaches him how his parents lied to him. They've stolen his birthright because they're afraid of
Kylo Ren.
Well, basically, yeah, except predating it by 20 years.
Well, yeah.
And Joel goes off to fight in Vietnam at one point. And then he comes home from Vietnam with a desire to kill his fucking family. Luthor gives him a serum that temporarily gives him powers, and he attacks Bruce Jr. and Kara's wedding and fucking kills most of the people there. Except for Superman, but he kills Lois, their daughter, fucking like most of the people at the wedding. And then dies because the serum doesn't the serum gives him powers for like an hour or two and then kills his ass.
I hate when comic book characters don't see the obvious solution here.
What's that?
You live in DC world, bro. Get a super suit.
Well, yeah, but they needed one that was like powerful enough to take down Supergirl.
No, I'm saying just like in general, like you can't be Superman, but you like can be something.
Well, yeah, but he's been manipulated his whole life to believe that his father stole his birthright out of jealousy and shit.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I get all that. I'm just saying, if I was Superman, I'm like getting that kid like a power ring or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so they actually do the opposite with his daughter. When she starts developing her powers, they give her a red sun necklace that lets her control it, which they also had Lois wear when she was pregnant, so that none of the kicks would like puncture her fucking guts.
Really makes you think about Superman lamp pipe.
Kind of, yeah. So after the tragic death of his wife and both of his children and everything, Superman's not in a position to take care of a child. In fact, he then basically also his identity gets leaked during the process of this, so he has no Clark Kent life to fall back on. So basically,
fell through.
What?
They saw through his glasses.
He actually, as he's supposed to age, he starts applying old age makeup in his daily life as Clark Kent, and then he burns it off with super speed to turn into Superman.
He can grow a beard. What is he doing?
Well, he still has to look his age, you know.
True.
Because Clark is like editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet now. Like, people are gonna notice if he still looks 30, even though he's like 65.
Yeah, beard him up. I'm just like.
So he basically spends like a decade between issues hunting Lex Luthor to the ends of the fucking earth.
Nice.
And in the meantime, after all this happens, this Vietnamese woman shows up with a child, and it's Superman's grandson. And like I said, Superman's not in a position to take care of a child. So the grieving Bruce Jr. agrees to adopt the baby, and he names him Clark Wayne. And trains him in Batman shit and everything. And like he's Robin. Clark Wayne is Robin for a while, and then he's Nightwing and shit. But then eventually he gets his powers, and he becomes Nightwing in tribute to both his mentor and his actual heritage.
Superman with MMA just torturing you, throwing you off a building.
Oh yeah, it's like if Robin, after a decade of combat training, then got Superman's powers.
I dream of the day when Dick Grayson can just smack down the entire Justice League.
Dick Grayson is unfortunately dead in this continuity. He got shot a ton by the Joker.
Oh.
He did take over as Batman for a while first.
Put him in the pit. Give me a crazy version.
This was before they had the pit.
No, dig him up.
Yeah, so so Bruce Wayne Jr. raises Clark Wayne and Robin, Nightwing, all that shit. And then Clark Wayne eventually has twin girls of his own, Lois and Lara Wayne. One of them, I think Lara Wayne, again, they're Kryptonians, so they're basically immortal.
Yeah.
Eventually winds up with Bruce Wayne. Because despite having the same last name, they're not actually related, and he didn't even get to meet her till they were both adults. At least not for any extended period. It's fucking weird, I agree, but they do their best to make it barely passable.
Well, it seems like, unfortunately, today's theme has just been rocking the cradle.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Rip.
They also, remember how I told you there was the bit with Green Lantern where she was in love with him and she aged herself up?
Yeah.
They kind of do a version of that almost with the other one, with Lois Wayne, because she's in love with Tomar-Re, the Green Lantern. And she is 100 years old. She's more than old enough to be in a relationship, but due to her weird fucked up genetics, she physically ages really, really slowly.
So it's just the girl from Invincible.
Kinda, yeah. So physically, she's 10, even though she's actually 200 years old. And Tomar-Re is look, I love you too on a romantic level, but the whole you're stuck as a 10-year-old thing is too much for me to get past. I'm sorry.
Bro, that's why Invincible's great. It's I'm going to fix your problem and then de-age myself, and now we're all cool.
Yeah. Well, she does try to get rid of her powers so that she can start aging normally, but then that winds up fucking her up, and it's a whole thing.
Jeez, it sounds like the same damn character.
It was probably an intentional reference.
Fair.
Except Tomar-Re behaves much better than Hal Jordan did in that situation by saying, no, I will not fuck you because you look like a child, even though you are, older than me.
Listen, Hal Jordan would drink 3 scotches, drive his Corvette over, hop in the F-16, decide mid-flight, I think I'm going to go use my green power ring and just pick up some bitches, and then he'd do it.
Oh, that's one thing too in this universe. Because things went differently, Hal Jordan didn't become Green Lantern when he did in ours. Just simply because there wasn't need for one, because Abin Sur never died. And so he doesn't actually become Green Lantern until he's an old man. And he was president at one point in the, during the story. He was president.
Oh, this is great.
He gets replaced by Barbara Gordon. After his term is up, Barbara Gordon becomes president.
But I'm not comfortable with that.
Why?
And not for the reason you think.
Why is that?
Any character who's ever been Oracle or an eye in the sky or a silent being who watches almost everything and knows what the fuck is going on should not be allowed to be president of the United States. I don't know.
He became Oracle in this universe.
Okay, you know what I mean, though. Like,
I know, I completely get it, but she never became Oracle in this universe because the accident.
That's fine.
This universe starts to diverge a lot as time goes on. So, Killing Joke never happened. None of that shit did.
Well, that's just a blessing.
No. She was just Batgirl till she retired from superheroics and went into politics.
What are our thoughts on Selena?
Does she even appear in these? She gets mentioned in them. She doesn't appear, I don't think.
Rip.
Anyway, Hal Jordan does eventually become Green Lantern, but only when he's 70, and I guess the Green Lantern ring can physically de-age him back to his physical youth.
I like that.
Because his wife says, you can't be a superhero, you're 70. And he's like, the ring can make me young again. And it seems to be true, because when we see him again, he's got dark hair again.
Yo, you know his wife got an absolute,
Probably. Yeah, really? the first 2 volumes of that series are really fucking good, and then in the third, it kind of got a little weird.
What's the title of it again?
Superman Batman Generations.
I'll go check that out. That sounds neat.
The third one is where you've probably heard of it, the infamous incident where Superman, who again is 700 years old, though he just looks like Superman with graying temples, basically. He gets thrown through a time wormhole and he winds up in Smallville during his youth. And so they have to go on an adventure. And somewhere in that scene, in that little story, they need Lana Lang's help because, of course, thanks to the Superboy adventures, Lana Lang knows all about all kinds of wacky shit. And Lana is obsessed with Superboy, and therefore, when Superman shows up, she's equally obsessed with him. And she says, "I'll only help you, Superman, if you kiss me." And he's like, "Lana, you're 14. That's really fucking weird." And she's like, "I don't care. I want I want to kiss if you want my help." So he very reluctantly kisses a 14-year-old girl. It's really fucking weird, and John Byrne did a lot of those. He's also the guy who came up with the idea that Sue Storm knew Reed Richards when she was 12 and he was in college, and that she had a crush on him.
I very much hate how these situations are always, the girl just made me do it. I just fucking had to get with the 14-year-old.
Okay, to be fair to Reed Richards, he only passingly noticed her because she was just the daughter of the lady he rented a room from, and then they didn't actually meet again until they were both adults.
I can't be fair to Reed Richards because he is the antagonist.
Kinda, yeah. John Byrne also came up with the idea that fucking Kitty Pryde is 5-something years younger than Colossus, and therefore she's 15 and he's an adult.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, John Byrne's fighting some demons. Which is a real shame, because a lot of the shit he writes is really good, but...
let me take a guess. Did he write Terra and Slade?
No, he did not.
Oh, well, that's...
And to be fair to that storyline, it is presented as fucked up in the storyline.
Sometimes.
In the original, I mean.
Yeah, okay.
It's portrayed as being super fucked up that Slade did that.
I very much like how Teen Titans seem to, not completely highlighted enough that Young Justice is no. This is a trauma victim. This is bad. This is... everyone looks at this bad.
True, but Young Justice also did the wise thing and changed the nature of their relationship to be more of a weird, mentor-student thing.
But she still wanted some, and it was weird. It was bad.
Maybe.
It was giving like Scarface kind of like.
In the animated movie of Judas Contract that came out around the same time,
That might be what-
they were explicit about it.
That's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
I think Young Justice, she wanted his approval, but it seemed more like the way you want your dad's approval.
True. Yeah. No.
Like
It
theirs was
Judas
much more
Contract.
paternal.
I always have a hard time with which one's which with all those.
Well, it doesn't help that sometimes they reuse character models in them to save animation costs.
Yeah, because like, isn't the Raven like very similar sometimes?
Raven didn't make it into Young Justice, but she probably will if we can ever bully them into making season 5.
How the fuck is that? Why?
Well, that makes sense because Raven wasn't invented until relatively late in DC Comics' existence, so it makes sense that it'll take a while for her to show up.
But like, couldn't we just make her a compatriot to Starfire because we already have a grown ass Starfire and Dick?
Well, not in Young Justice. Well, we have grown ass Dick. We have an adult Dick Grayson in Young Justice, but Raven and Starfire have not shown up in it as of last I checked.
I thought Starfire was in it.
No, that's again the animated movies they were making.
God damn it!
I actually
time.
there's a book right there called The Other History of the DC Universe.
Is that the one when they're looking at each other like and they're talking about something kinky?
No. It's actually written by the screenwriter who co-wrote 12 Years a Slave. John something. What's his name? John Ridley.
Huh.
So what it is it retells like the DC universe from the POV of minority characters. Like each chapter is told from the POV of a different character. So like the first is Black Lightning, and then later Katana. I forget who all of them were, but there's a section in Katana's. There's a little page in Katana's section where she brings up Deathstroke and the number of times they fought Deathstroke, and she indicts people both in universe and especially out for thinking that Deathstroke is a badass, and reminds you that he's a pedophile and that he's gotten his ass kicked by teenagers a bunch of times.
Honestly, every time someone says to someone's like, "Oh, Slade Wilson," I'm like, "Can we just rewind and go to Deadshot instead?"
Well, yeah, the versions of Slade that don't adapt anything to do with Terra are badasses.
They're badasses, but I just always assume Terra's involved somewhere along the way.
It depends. Like the version in Arrow never did any Terra stuff, and like the version in Arrow was fucking awesome. Like Manu Bennett,
Deadshot, and he's all doing it for his cool little daughter.
Well, they did Deadshot as well in Arrow. They made both Deadshot and Deathstroke into really awesome characters in Arrow, because they did it back when Arrow was good.
Was it Will Smith?
No. In fact, it was before that because it was a white guy playing Deadshot, like the old days.
I thought Deadshot was Puerto Rican.
No, Deadshot was white for years, and then they cast Will Smith as him, and ever since then they keep doing black versions of him, even when it doesn't make sense continuity-wise. I'm looking at you, Suicide Squad game.
Wait, where's he from?
Like where on Earth? Somewhere in the U.S. I don't know.
Oh, okay, shit. I don't know.
But in the Suicide Squad game is supposed to be a sequel to the Arkham games, but the Arkham games had white Deadshot because of how long ago they were made, and the game wanted black Deadshot to look more like the movie, so they just had a different fucking guy, and he just claims the other one stole his alias with no evidence.
Kind of unnecessary.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Like, Jesus Christ.
It would have been fine if you just had another Deadshot, but no, they explicitly say this is Floyd Lawton.
See, the reason I'm so compelled to be like, what the fuck, is because you can just be like, it's Floyd Lawton and not make him take the helmet off. What the fuck?
Yeah, or just make him white again. I don't know.
Well, but like,
or just make it not a fuck
in his face all the time anyway. I mean,
how about this? Don't drag one of my favorite video game series into the muck with the worst fucking game ever made. How about that? How about don't make it an Arkham sequel?
Listen, I'm a PC gamer, so I'm still kind of jaded after the last Arkham game, but that's just me. Listen, I can't drive that Batmobile around without like frames hitting like 16. I'm not having it.
I don't know if you watched Arrow to any extent, really, but their version, like, he looked like Deathstroke, but like backstory wise, their version of Deathstroke was a total like reinvention of the character. So it's easier to like separate him from the pedophilic rapist.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's like anytime you're a child and you're introduced to like the pedo character, you're just like, nah, I'm gonna just hate you for the rest of my life.
It really sucks because with any other character, you could just discount that part, but it's from like the most famous Teen Titans storylines. So.
Like it's from good content, so we're not taking it out. It's just there. Like,
yeah, and it's fine in context because he's depicted as the bad guy.
Yeah.
But then, like, because he looks cool and can do cool stuff, they tried to make him an anti-hero later, and it's really hard to do that with a guy who knowingly fucked a 15-year-old girl.
But to be fair, no one's got media literacy enough to even realize who the badasses are in that show. I mean, the meme has only come out over the last year of Robin doing that knee drop.
Oh, also, speaking of versions of Slade that fixed that storyline, as much as the show is really fucking mixed in its quality, the Titans show did a really good job with that because they did that rough storyline, but they replaced Tara with Ravager, who's his daughter.
Cop before Teen Titans is not allowed to be.
I agree that was a fucking problem. I definitely.
I just can't even move beyond that. No. They presented that to me. I said, no, I'm done.
Titans. I call Titans the exercise in bipolar disorder because some elements of it are absolutely fucking perfect and others are shit, and you never know what you're gonna get till you watch it.
That is, oh my god, that's terrifying.
Like they completely take a dump on Wonder Girl with how they kill her, so much so that they bring her back 2 seasons later.
Wonder Girl's the one whose entire point is boobs.
Well, I mean, any female character in comics can be reduced to that, but no, Wonder Girl is like Wonder Woman's old teenage sidekick who's an adult now.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of the Superman one.
Oh, Power Girl. No, that's a different...
that thing.
No, Wonder Girl, she and Dick actually have a great friendship in that show because they're the 2 eldest former sidekicks turned adult heroes. So they have like a cool little like veterans type vibe to them.
What about Roy?
Roy wasn't in it, I don't think.
Huh. Right.
Well, they reference him, but he didn't ever actually appear. Aqualad appeared in 1 episode, but he died.
What about Wally?
Wally didn't appear either. It's hard to write in a speedster because they can just solve every fucking problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, Titans is completely fucking nuts because it'll like take a shit on Wonder Girl and then have the best depiction of Hawk and Dove you've ever seen in your entire life.
That's so weird.
The dude who plays Reacher now on the Amazon show.
Yeah.
He was Hawk. And what's her name? Minka Kelly.
Oh.
She was in like Almost Human and Friday Night Lights and shit.
I thought Dove was a guy.
So some versions are, some aren't. So the original Dove, when we initially meet them, it's in the present, and Dove had a fling with Robin a while back, so there's awkwardness there.
Nice.
And Hawk seems like kind of a belligerent asshole, like just a little bit. Well, he's clearly like abusing substances and shit. Like he's not only drinking, but he's on pills. And then they get involved. They're retired, or they're trying to be retired from, or no, they're not. Rather, that's later. So several times they try to retire from superheroics and get dragged back in, and we get flashbacks detailing their lives. And what happened was that Hawk, or Hank is his real name, he got molested when he was a child by his like middle school football coach.
Oh.
And his he has a younger half brother, like a year or 2 younger, who's black, which they just do to make it really obvious that they have different fathers.
Yeah.
And like the coach or someone says something about like both 2 dads and no dads. I get what it's like. But the coach was clearly interested in doing the same to his little brother. Like he invited him to the weight room, and Hank knows what that means, but his little brother, who's only 10, doesn't. And instead he he's actually forced to be mean to his little brother to make him run off crying, and he feels guilty, but he knows that he had to do it because it was the only way to prevent what was going to happen.
Well, that'd beat the shit out the football coach like you should.
Well, yeah, but he's only 11. Like, this football coach is way bigger and stronger than him.
Bro, I got cleats and you got balls. Let's fucking go.
Well, he's also like, he's been groomed, and this guy is like teaching him football, which he loves, and like, so he's a kid. He just knows he doesn't want it to happen to his brother. So he says, like, no, I'll go to the weight room with you. And then when his brother says, no, I want to go, he has to be mean and say, like, you're not old enough to handle it.
Yeah.
And then he just walks into the weight room, and we know what's going to fucking happen.
Why doesn't he go home with the brother?
Because it was going to be one of them, or bad shit was going to happen to them, clearly. Like, the implicit threat was, I'll hurt one or both of you unless one of you goes to the weight room.
Jesus.
And plus, he's also at a fancy pants private school on an athletic scholarship, so he could derail his whole fucking life if he pisses this coach off.
No, I get it.
So anyway, we then cut to them when they're in college, and Hank's like a football star who's starting to get injuries from football, but they're not fucking him up yet.
Okay.
And eventually, he and his brother get involved in like a big brawl, and they get kicked out of school. I forget why. I think he was protecting a girl from someone who was being a perv to her or something.
Mm.
It was something like that, where he was like trying to protect someone else from the same thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
And so since they get kicked out of school, they decide to become vigilantes together. So they were the original Hawk and Dove.
Okay.
But then his brother, Donnie, got killed in a car accident.
Rip.
And so did Dawn's mother. That's how they met. They met at the same grief counseling thing for families of the big ass crash that killed like 10 people.
And it's like, hey, you want to throw on a super suit? Yeah, I'll throw on a
Well,
suit.
it's initially they're just friends, but then she finds out that he used to be a vigilante, and then ultimately he tells her the truth about what happened to him when he was a kid, which he never told anyone. I don't think even his brother knew.
Jesus.
And the two of them they track down his coach, and they go to his fucking house, and it's implied they murder him. Like, it cuts away while they're still beating the fuck out of him, but it's implied that they fucking beat him to death. And then they go home and have this weird fucking trauma sex.
And then Dove fucks Robin. Okay, so...
Well, yeah, so what happens is the morning after, she was like, look, we shouldn't pursue a relationship based on shared grief. We can still be friends and fight crime together, but...
Listen, the murder part was cool, but the sex? Come on.
Well, yeah, they break up and make up several times throughout the timeline, both in flashbacks and in the present.
Birds of a feather.
Well, kind of, yeah. So anyway, my point is, like, their version of Hawk and Dove is fucking badass. Like, it's this amazing exploration of grief and childhood trauma. And then, like, Wonder Girl gets killed by an electrical thing falling on her. And then you get, like, Izai Morales, the dude from the Mission Impossible movies, playing, like, one of the best live-action Deathstrokes ever. And then you also get his daughter having a weird, stupid relationship with Jason Todd that goes nowhere.
Do you know, speaking of electricity, if the gun's going to give me any static?
I wouldn't be shocked if he does.
Haha.
I didn't even mean to do that one, but, like, in all seriousness, I wouldn't be surprised if static shows up in something.
It seems like a really good bet. Like, it's...
I told you about this years ago, and you called it reverse Flanderization.
Yeah.
They have an awesome version of Jason Todd for the first 2 seasons, and then when they do the Red Hood thing, it's just, like, comparatively boring.
Because what's the fucking point now?
Well, normally when Jason Todd shows up, you're, no pun intended, killing time till the death in the family storyline happens.
Yeah.
But they actually sort of made Jason Todd interesting. I mean, they did kind of the whiny kid thing, like some people accuse him of, but, like, he's a 19-year-old with an attitude problem.
Yeah, it seems like we've kind of just turned, like the way we're doing this nowadays is we have Dick, the Eld one. We have Damien, the Dark one.
They never actually did Damien in this show.
We have Tim, the Smart one.
They did do Tim in the last 2 seasons. They did Tim Drake. And I really liked how they did Tim Drake, by the way, too. And funny enough, unrelated to that, he was one of the gangbangers at the beginning of the Robert Pattinson Batman movie.
Who would you rather in a gang fight, Damian or Jason Todd?
Damian has more self-control.
That's why I want Jason Todd.
Oh, you mean fighting with me? I thought you meant like I have to fight them.
Oh, no. Because
Okay.
Fighting Damian, half the time he'll be like, "You're not worth this," and then just do something else.
Well, so with what they did with Jason Todd was that they made it so that his anger issues, unlike most versions, were not his sole character trait. They were one of his character traits, and he had others as well. Like he really wants to prove himself. Like, he fucks around a little and he does stupid shit, but he also does genuinely believe in the Batman project, and he wants to prove himself to Bruce. And like he's got fucking childhood trauma. Like the relationship with Rose fucks him up because he finds out that she was like working with Slade. And he doesn't realize that the whole having sex with him part was genuine and that she was going to betray Slade. But he finds out like by accident. So
young boy, complicated feelings.
Yeah. I don't even know if he says he's 19 when he gives a guy a fake ID trying to get into a bar. I don't even know if he's actually 19. I'm just taking it for granted that he is because the actor was roughly that age.
Let's not take things for granted.
Yeah, and also because Bruce sent him to San Francisco, so like clearly he doesn't really have school to worry about.
Either that or he wouldn't go anyway.
Well, yeah, maybe, but because that was a big part of it was that at the end of the premiere of season 2 was supposed to be the end of season 1. It got delayed because bullshit. So he agrees to bankroll the Titans in exchange for Dick taking Jason with him to give him Titans training. And at first, Jason's excited to do that, but then he kind of realizes this feels like Bruce trying to get rid of me.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Or at least temporarily.
This is just him killing birds with one stone.
But there's when they do there's a great bit in the Red Hood storyline, which otherwise isn't very good, where we get this like between seasons bit where Bruce takes Jason to Crime Alley, to the exact alley where his parents were shot. And he tells him like the significance of that particular alley. And he says, I want you to give up being Robin, not because I don't trust you in the field, but because I can see it's fucking hurting you mentally. And I would rather take the chance of going out by myself than risk hurting you. And Jason doesn't take it well. And he's saying, he says basically, Bruce, please don't give up on me. And Bruce gets a moment where you get to remember why that actor was in Game of Thrones, because he's a real actor, where he pours all of his emotion into the line, Jason, you don't have to be Robin to be my son.
That's lovely.
Yeah, and of course Jason doesn't fucking take it well. And Bruce says, look, I'm going on a business trip tonight. Why don't you come with me? And Jason says no. And he's like, all right, fine, fair enough. And then while he's on the plane to Europe, Jason calls him and says, yo, we've got Joker dead to rights. I'm going after him. And Bruce says, don't fucking do that. You're going to die. And he's like, I'm doing it. And he hangs up, and it goes exactly how you expect.
$20 fucking dollars, dude.
What do you mean?
Let us never forget that was based off of a poll from calling into a line.
Oh, yeah.
You spent $20 fucking dollars. You could have prevented decades of crowbar things.
They actually finally released officially with a new continuation the alternate ending. Like they released a comic recently called Robin Lives, where they take the alternate ending they wrote and expand on it from there.
Oh shit, that's fun.
I don't know if it's any good because I haven't read it yet, but I've been meaning to.
$20 fucking dollars. That's
Yeah, there's always rumors that a guy rigged his computer to auto dial repeatedly.
I've heard this. I mean, if that's true, that guy, good for you, guy.
Well, supposedly, I forget his name, but the writer who wrote the Under the Red Hood storyline, like the one that introduced this version of Red Hood.
Yeah.
Hi, Suki. So he was at a Comic-Con once doing signings, and a guy walked up to him and semi-seriously said, "I want my 50 cents back because I voted to kill that motherfucker and you just brought him back." And then the guy goes, "I'm going to be honest, when I was a kid, I also voted to kill him." But then I had an idea as an adult, so I had to run with it.
I also wanted that little shit.
Yeah, the saying used to be, no one in comics stays dead except Bucky, Jason Todd, and Uncle Ben. And then Bucky and Jason Todd both came back.
What about Gwen Stacy, dude? Gwen Stacy stays dead.
Yeah, mostly, until they created Spider-Gwen. But that's an alternate universe version of her, so she didn't come back from the dead.
True.
Though apparently now they did fucking do that, I guess.
I hate it here. Why?
Yeah.
Why did I even open my mouth?
All right, Suki wants to go outside, and it's late, and I'm thirsty, and I want to get stoned again. So I think I should probably cut this off before I ramble about Batman for another 6 fucking hours.
Sounds like a plan. I'm gonna go find out when I can go see a bunch of piss babies whine about Fallout.
I'm guessing by 9 p.m. tomorrow.
I will keep you updated. It's gonna be great.
All right, so you want to do the show on January 2nd, not the 1st, right?
Yeah, January 1st is National Hangover Day. Let's be honest here.
That is fair. So I will see, we will see all of you on Friday at 8 p.m. at our usual time. Suki will hopefully not be trying to eat me then.
We will once again not be late.
Yes, and we'll see you then. Keep your buttholes tight and enjoy whatever Christmassy stuff you have, which, speaking of, I'm sweating my balls off because my grandma got me these really warm Christmas pants.
It's still technically Kwanzaa. Go nuts, folks.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, we'll see you on Friday, everyone.
Bye.